This will be the map. I don't know about that one, man. Screenshot this. I have a tested IQ of 148. After analyzing all the information out there, this is the map that is going to happen. Ooh, this didn't age very well, did it? Do you think he knows by now? Or should we tell him? Thanks, I hate it. You must be an insolurious cretin if something so benign bothers you. Pretty cringe, dude. I'm pretty sure that guy just made up a word. Therefore, I made up the pronunciation for said word. Studies show, if you listen to classical music, you have a high IQ. I listen to it quite often. Not often enough. You might want to bump the numbers up a little bit. Horseshoes never need trimming, only their hooves. Hell, that'd be an amazing source of iron if they actually grew. Screw iron golems, let's farm horses. It's iron, leather, and meat. Well, would you describe this as a state of affairs or an event that seems deliberately contrary to what one expects and is amusing as a result? Holy God, man, what did you even say? I feel like we're going to be running into quite a few thesaurus hounds as we go through this sub. Oh, I see. One says 1, the other says 9. It literally hurts me to see people saying it's 9. The answer is 1, brackets first. Does it? Does it literally hurt you when you see calculators do things like this? Such a Freudian image. Boys want a female with which to recreate the comforting sensations and emotions associated with the experience of being breastfed as a child. But it do be like that. So you're telling me, if you want a girlfriend, it's only because you want to nurse again. $10, black sewing machine brooch. It may help you to spell it correctly. Brooch. Imagine coming in that obnoxiously only to be wrong. Bravo. Bravo. Absolutely fantastic. Hell, I probably didn't even pronounce it correctly, so here we are. I swear, a group of Russians united for a common cause can do pretty much anything. Hey, that's why the Germans got blasted back to Berlin. LOL, yeah, no. Here we go, guys, let's get ready. Obviously, you haven't read about the Eastern Front. The Russian army was encouraged to do things via threat. Most of the time a charge was executed, it was because half of the regiment was ordered to stay behind and shoot anyone who didn't charge. The Red Army in World War II worked via dread and threats, not unity and teamwork. Call of Duty wasn't, in fact, an accurate portrayal of actual history. Relax, mate, it was a joke. Clearly your joke wasn't smart enough for his IQ. His intellectual intelligence beats the crap out of you. My 19-year-old son bought a car today. The guy who sold it to him took the cash, counted out $1,000 and gave it back to him saying, "Good luck in college. Pay it forward." Unbelievably kind. And brought tears to my eyes. Cars will become unbearable liabilities for most people as energy prices rise. I regret to inform you that you and your son have been deceived into thinking that personal car ownership is an accurate sign of socioeconomic status and freedom to act in the future global economy. Wow, so many big words, dude. Where'd you learn socioeconomic, huh? Did you Google it? Did mommy say it on Facebook? The CG actually looks super real. CGI. CGI stands for computer-generated imagery. That's like saying, wow, the computer-generated looks so good. It burns my brain cells seeing comments like comments like his what? Really good. Funny, I embarked on a similar project years ago, but I didn't feel like posting on Reddit in a pathetic attempt for karma. Moreover, I scrapped the project immediately the moment I realized it offered me no intellectual challenge. Still, congrats. Wow. I'd like to introduce myself, sir. I'm the regional manager of Who the Hell Asked Incorporated. PSA, the word ion, by definition, is an atom or molecule with a net electric charge due to the loss or gain of one or more electrons. Thank you, Google Dictionary and high school chemistry. It is not, nor has it ever been, a shorter version of the wording I don't or I do not. Sorry to those who say this. I mean no harm, it just makes me cringe. Much like you're making all of us do right now. Did you really have to end this with an emoji? I'm not sure how anyone can believe it is statistically possible for a president to win with a perfect 270. The way the Electoral College is divided throughout the states is such. People have advised me I need to be using critical thinking. Pretty sure that is critical thinking. Well, I can't comment. I'm not smart enough for you. Stranger Things is for kids. Dark is for smart people. Please don't Rick and Morty the fan base. It's a show. It's good, but it's not a measure of your intelligence. If a Stranger Things fan tried to watch Dark, I think their brain would explode. Yep, there it is. But for a lot of people, Dark takes a lot of brain power. Jason is a smart guy and a deep thinker. This interview was one of the best that I've seen. Not that deep. Read some Aristotle, Aquinas, or Kierkegaard. Psh, yeah, man. Or maybe try reading some J.K. Rowling or some J.R.R. Tolkien or some R.L. Stein. Frankenstein enters into a bodybuilding competition and finds he has seriously misunderstood the objective. For the last time, Frankenstein was the name of the doctor. A doctor who built a body. Are you serious here, my man? Can someone get this guy some new Air Jordans so that he can properly jump to conclusions next time? I am colorblind and I just took my driving theory exam today. Of the 8 dot tests, I could read 2. But I still passed, because the questions are selected from a fixed pool. So I memorized the layout of over 100,000 dots, so when I saw something I couldn't see, I analyzed the pattern and deduced the answer. But you don't know how to spell still. You can do that, but you can't spell. An insane amount of people not getting the joke. Really shows how dumb the average user is. What's the joke? I just wanted to highlight this legendary duo. Well, I know what the joke is. I just want to see if you knew. Why it is so difficult when you are a lot smarter than normal people? Shouldn't it be easier? Well, not for you. People act like this is so hard. I'm 15, and yeah, I do have a really high IQ, 150s, and I can easily do integrated calculus in my head, and easily calculate the amount of valence electrons in a nucleus. And I'm also highly trained in quantum physics. By the way, I'm totally self-educated. There are no electrons in any atomic nucleus. Boom! That one reeks of copy pasta. Actually, a lot of these do, but still, they're funny. I went to college with a lot of guys trying to work for Boeing. I think I changed their minds via a compelling essay on class inequality as it intersects with race, national origin, and disability. Half a dozen talked to me after class about alternatives to capitalism. Me writing a 10-page essay 8 hours before it's due. I could knock out 10 pages in like 2 hours. I wrote an 80-page case study in 48. It was supposed to be 100 pages minimum, but I got an A anyway. You're claiming you still got an A, but you did not do 20% of your assignment. I call bullcrap, my dude. People who know me well often try to remind me that I'm so much smarter than the number 2 person in the room, and that I should just let disabled people be disabled people, because it isn't worth my time. My dad drilled it into me before he died that anyone under a 140 IQ is like a different species to me. Maybe this is why I can't get a job. I'm hated for being smart. That's right. It's definitely for being smart. I miss how holidays felt when I was younger. I miss talking to people before acquiring mass amounts of intelligence. I feel ya. I think we all do. My wife's first boyfriend when she was 15 killed himself playing it. He was suicidal. Oh God, I do not want to see what this was posted on. Homicidal. Suicide implies that there was no victim. Bro, shut up. Literally the definition is the intentional taking of one's own life. He definitely typed that crap and thought, yeah, I sound cool as heck. Oh boy, we got Jordan Peterson up in here. This should be considered cheating at this point. I do not typically gravitate towards comedy, as I find it rather base and skewed, but recent events have left me amenable to levity. What is some affable and rational humor in which I could indulge? I mean, you can go screw yourself. You are to me what you are to the chimpanzee. That is the difference in intelligence. Wow, this guy's brilliant. After watching this movie, I was going crazy to ask everyone else to watch this movie, but they showed no much interest. That is when I realized that I'm living among people with lesser mind. Same. This movie is amazing, but everyone who I know has seen it don't understand half of anything going on. It sucks. I feel the same. None of my friends or... Thank God that one cut off. Holy cow. Yes, we all saw the behind the scenes where they made the black hole and it made us all feel smart, so shut up. You have an IQ of 74. How? I took the test myself and I got a 134. I'm 12 years old. You would have to be an idiot of unimaginable caliber to get a 74. It's only 20 questions. Jesus Christ almighty, what the frick? I'm smarter than 134% of people. Where'd you get that number? Imagine a world where the famous musicians actually studied and knew music theory. Music would be great. There are very few people that I can talk to nowadays about theory. Notes that actually make up some advanced chords, scales, modes, keys, reading sheet music, etc. Playing 3 to 4 chord songs consisting of just major and minor chords gets extremely boring. That's why I play jazz. 90% of today's musicians can't comprehend jazz. Right, okay. You keep believing that one, dude. Tell me, what does your job entails? I teach kindergarten. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. My job is quite complex. Though I'm used to the endeavors involved, it entails a highly strategic and analytical approach in terms of contract securement. Lots of travels across countries, hiring and purchase of telewares, as well as sub-engineers for telecom organizations. It's huge, just like its revenue though. LOL. So, how are you doing today? What's your plans and schedule for today? Well, not to respond to you, you freak. The way this guy described his job is basically the same way as saying, oh yeah, I handle daily transactions for a multi-billion-dollar corporation, when you know you're a cashier at McDonald's. No one's ever going to get the fact that hot and cold is kind of like Todoroki from My Hero Academia, because that's his quirk. I instantly get a lot of jokes. So, wow, do ya? How many other blatantly obvious things do you understand? Here's the thing. I have a political science degree and almost became a lawyer. You don't want to have a constitutional discussion with me. I literally have pocket constitutions strewn about my house. Stay in your lane. I would like to see your degree. Thought of it as a drunken night, turned to math night soon after. I get horny about #mathematics. I genuinely don't know what to say to you, man. I've never heard someone say something like that about math. If anybody in the comments is good at math, you should try and fact check this to see if he even got any of this right. Or just drew a bunch of weird crap that makes no sense.
Article about why women dye their hair. The whole thing is written like this. Anyway, back to the mind-blowing knowledge that I'm about to impart. Hasn't any one of you, any average guy for example, ever wondered why your girlfriend annually, or maybe in a shorter time span, emerges in your embrace doused in the harsh scent of bleaching chemicals? Have you ever paused to pontificate why she willingly forks over considerable sums of money in the honor of the aforementioned event? I myself am guilty of tentatively exploring the frontier phases of marshmallow brown, mahogany with honeysuckle highlights, auburn, natural black, spicy intense red, and lastly, spicy intense red with pastel pink dip-dyed tips. The mantra of which I just regurgitate honestly has nothing to do with the high the toe of what I have written, and yet I recite the namesakes of such miraculously hair-transforming agents with the same unadulterated pride as a prestigious forensic psychologist listing his or her credentials on a stand in the midst of a nasty law brawl. Oh, smarter than my class. This semester just about broke me, I get it. I was envied for being smarter. I'm smart, hella smart, but I have focusing issues and went without more than 3 to 5 hours of sleep for weeks, months even. They were jealous of me for my advanced intelligence. OMG, you use Reddit? Thank God. Females that use Reddit are far more intelligent than other dumb tramps. If you use Reddit, maybe you could match my smarts. I've been lacking a smart partner for ages because all the other girls are too simple for me. You're far too superior. Sorry, it's just so rare seeing a girl that is actually intelligent and not just a dumb bimbo that uses Twitter and those other crap social media apps like the idiots they are. I have a degree in social studies, so I kinda know my stuff, lol. When I try to find gaping holes in Einstein's field equations, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. Someday, Albert, someday the best theory of gravity, general relativity, is gonna be proven wrong. One of these days. YouTube comment on a documentary narrated by Liam Neeson. More accustomed to professional classicists, the voice of a Hollywood actors totally turned me off. So many fantastic academics with many years university and documentary experience could have done this and probably for a lot less money. Paul Cartledge, Tom Holland, Bethany Hughes, Mary Beard, Lorna Hardwick, Chris Emlyn Jones. Neeson's voice simply kept reminding me of some crap Hollywood movie that such great and significant content can only be marketed by using a famous celebrity is a sad reflection of our own dumbed-down society. You seem to like using the word human. A sign of mental incompetence is repeating the same word ad nauseum. You are clearly a simpleton who can't grasp reality. Your spelling and grammar are even worse than your faulty logic. I've tried my best, but it's become painfully apparent that you just don't belong on planet Earth. Notice that I correctly used a capital E. The best thing for everyone is that you join Steve Irwin ASAP. Use whatever means you have at your disposal. Rope, gun, a cliff, etc. And tell him I said hi when you see him. Movie review. John Wick Parabellum. Crazy, gun fu, wild knife fight. I'm a fan of franchise. FLTG approved. You probably don't understand John Wick at all with your low IQ. All you care about is the action scenes. The oldest known melody, Hurrian Hymn number 6. This is surprisingly good recording quality for 1400 BC. All of you are idiots. This is recorded recently after they just found the notes. This isn't a recording from 1400 BC itself. Idiots these days. Now that I've been educated, not a musician here, just an illustrator, I can't enjoy any violin performance on TV, cause most of them suck. But then again, I've always nitpicking on ads for every little thing that had to do with graphic design. I blame myself for having knowledge. I know some people have higher IQ than me, but at the age of 13 and having an IQ of 150, I don't think it's that easy to find someone smarter than me, that's around my age or even older than me. As well as I only call idiots people who are dumber than me. Plus, I'm not famous because I keep the fact that I have such a high IQ, and even told my friend not to tell people. Plus the fact that I don't want to be famous. I'm not being a bruh, just don't want to deal with irritating idiots. He's just dancing, similar to a jazz shuffle. Dogs don't understand the concept of dancing. They're nice animals, but they're also dumb. A goat don't attribute human characteristics to them. It doesn't make you look all that smart either. Apparently Jeff Bezos is accepting Amazon's returns is reason enough to pontificate on climate change. LOL. Instead of pontificating on non-existent anthropomorphic climate change, maybe those 8,000 employees should be accepting returns instead of the founder having to do it. I sincerely doubt any person with a healthy dose of recalcitrance, reasonable researching ability, and the capacity to form their own opinions would arrive at the conclusion of our pollutants are making the weather go all crazy. I have spoken to a few others of similar abilities to myself whom are adroitly congruent with me on the fact that 1 degree of temperature change in the ocean releases more CO2 than has been released in all of human history. Yes, leave these debates and calls for action to the smart people. Just accept the returns and don't bother with the activism. Thanks for listening. I'm not trying to sound clever. It just happens naturally. Childhood is when you idolize Batman. Adulthood is when you realize the Joker makes more sense. Anyone else ever feel too smart for their own good? Why did Taliban even mean? Please don't butcher the English language. If you want, you can DM me so I can give you some cheap English lessons. Note that this is coming from a linguistics student, so that would certainly be money well spent for you. Cheers. Edit. Am I getting downvoted because I speak decent English? Wow. Really says something about the people who downvoted me, doesn't it? This Ted Bundy movie sucks. LMAO, how far in are you? Like half. It's more of a movie about him than it is about his killings, which I appreciated. It's incredibly well shot. But I don't blame you. I have a different taste for movies than you. I can interpret them in a more sophisticated manner. I'm much smarter than you, remember? Yikes, I almost just fought someone in the Walmart parking lot. When I was about 10, we were learning about the solar system. Teacher asked, "Does the sun move?" Being the smart A I am, I answered along the lines of, "Yes, because of the Big Bang, the universe is moving and the solar system is moving away from the center of the universe, including the sun." Teacher got a bit flustered and said, "Okay, yes, but the sun doesn't move relative to other planets." I understood that some kids need to grasp the concept of the sun being stationary within our solar system before we could explore outside of that. I was just being a little smart aleck. Snobs. Fortnite is for casuals. Me. Play it as a commentary on the inevitability of death in an increasingly war-torn world where too many people are fighting over resources, while dealing with the dichotomy of getting noticed and its art. Snobs. What? Me. Casual. When the average on the test was 46% and you got 47%, I see this as an absolute win. If this ever happened to me, I would be greatly disappointed with myself. Luckily, I almost always score 4/3 of a standard deviation above average on my exams, which is why I have so many A and A+ grades. If you relate to this meme, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Work harder and better next time. I'm a Mensa certified literal genius. My IQ is 153. Do not act like any of you deserve to give me opinions or let alone criticize me. It's shameful, disgraceful. A wolf does not concern himself with the opinions of a sheep. Question for my friends on the interwebs. What happens when you combine computer science, math and geometry, quantum physics, ancient alchemy, modern Google searches, an internet full of random information, and a mad scientist brain with an IQ of over 200? Trouble, that's what. Avengers Endgame is apparently only understandable by people with big minds. Possibilities of this series are endless, and the movie was a masterpiece. Probably too big for all you little minds to comprehend. just casually working on 3 assignments, a feature film script, novel, and history essay, all at once. Only people with low IQ rattles when lightning strikes. Me, I love lightning. Every thunderstorm, I love to watch the sky during the rain, watching the beauty of lights. If I were white and not Will Smith's silly son, I would be the most respected philosopher of our and all time. Thanks, Jaden. Are you bonding hydrogen atoms because you are the light of my life? Don't get it. It's the sun and stars. The makes energy in the form of light by bonding hydrogen atoms into helium. Still don't get it? Then you are just too much of a troglodyte to understand such intelligent pickup lines. That blue stuff in the titanium must be a chemical reaction consequence of the transformation of the immense kinetic energy in the heat of amortizing projectile small pieces. Worth mentioning as well, energy loss due to target angle, plus it's not static and absorbs as well big energy for its own movement. Big loss, in fact. Easy to imagine the vectors. You experiment on the effect of such anti-material equipment on steel forged? I think so. Yeah, the tungsten core round will do the job with the proper angle of impact. I bet I would have done it if the target is static, even with that angle. Need a TLDR.
I refuse to be beholden by low IQ dropouts whose cognitive ability is limited to 280 characters at a time. Thank you, though, for your unabashed honesty about your low cognitive acuity. Much obliged.
I would say something, but it's too intelligent to say. Thanks for your input.
I wish I had friends who were interested in discussing ancient Latin philosophy whilst drinking wine. Life.
Wow, intellectual.
Instead, I'm rotting away with people who, let alone Latin philosophy, doesn't even know who Michelangelo is, so please, give me a break. Here.
Come on. Everybody knows who Michelangelo is. He's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Got him. If the IQ difference between 2 people is greater than 15 to 20 points, the less intelligent person often will interpret more intelligent concepts as gibberish, because they don't understand. Maybe that's what's happening to Navneet here. We should show him empathy. I appreciate your Christian compassion, Sam. I'm but a poor immigrant, whose IQ is 15 to 20 points below yours. Please explain how I might better myself, and I shall defer to your eminent wisdom. Oh, I see. You're an immigrant. Pardon me, maybe it's just a language barrier then. I recommend some English courses. You'll get the hang of it, just takes practice. That's helpful. Thank you. Might you recommend which language courses I might take? I already have a PhD in English literature, so they would need to build off of that. In a thread about Old Town Road. I don't know about that. Language is fluid, yes, but they'll go farther in this world communicating effectively and eloquently, rather than with the grammatical skill associated with a lower caste of humanity, often associated with an uneducated population. It's just a song, dude, it's just a song. Oh, the real one know this hit different. Non-vaccinated kids take a sip of this and it's over! LOL, never had a vaccine in my life. Drank out of that every season at least twice a week and still have a higher than average IQ. Same for my 2 younger siblings. The only reason drinking out of those is dangerous is the same reason I don't want to drink out of a plastic water bottle that's been left in the car. The chemicals in the plastic are released into the water when the bottle or water hose is heated to a high enough temperature. The chemicals can then cause cancer. And as we all know, cancer cannot be prevented by vaccines. Me as a child, I like being in the bank at Monopoly so I could cheat. Me as an adult, I like being a VC so I can invest in founders with unfair advantages. Me as a child,
Mathematically, the best strategy is to buy all the property you land on, but to mortgage everything Orange Plus. Then trade to get monopolies on the Orange properties. And if you do this, you'll always win.
me as VC.
Same.
Cheese balls! Ooga booga cheese balls! The fact that he used Snapchat to show that island shows how little he knows about geography. What? Did I use meme correctly? I do not know much about these things, but I have read Richard Dawkins' Selfish Gene, where he first introduced the term, and apparently it is now used colloquially to refer to image macros and jokes. I do not understand how lower IQ people function, but it is fascinating. I would like to continue to learn from you people. Now we're good. I was editing my paper on string theory the other night, and my mom told me to stop playing on my laptop. I just stayed quiet and then watched her play Candy Crush and go on Facebook. Confused noises? Physicist who still lives with his mother, LOL. But I'm 16, LMAO. I can't buy my own property yet. Huh. Pick one person in the world to meet aliens. While humor is subjective, this man is diagnosably an idiot. The way he presents himself and speaks just screams moronic stoner dropout. I very much doubt this man-child even completed high school. And this is not a harsh assessment, it is a simple and accurate one. Nothing but nonsensical drivel ever spews from this man's mouth. I very much doubt that he has had a single intelligent thought his entire career. Guy is an outright moron. And so are you, so at least you got something in common with the guy. Don't lie to an overthinker. It never ends well. Such people have trained their brains to look for holes in a story. If crap don't make sense, they'll think about it over and over until it does make sense. I am that person. Sure you are, sweetheart. Whatever floats your boat and helps you sleep at night. You're an anonymous account with a crappy username. Don't try coming for me. Also, my opinion does matter. LMAO, you know I was right. Haha, I know it took you a min to spell anonymous. LOL, I'm actually in college with a 4.2 GPA and I'm almost done my political science major. You probably don't know what it is. Basically, bring up something political and I know more than you. You got a 4.2 GPA? You got a what? I think I know my problem. I'm too smart. Let me clarify. I'm too intelligent for what I've been doing with myself. Regardless of the job, my intelligence level has been beyond it. I sometimes have to dumb down to give off the impression I'm being taught. It is too confident. It's conceited. It's whatever you would like to put with it, but don't leave out it being the truth. I always feel like I am not met intellectually, and when something is too easy or not challenging mentally, I get bored. Hopefully soon I run into something that will give me all those things I'm looking for. Until then, hashtag I'm feeling myself, hashtag that man cocky, hashtag that man confident, hashtag that man needs to shut the F up. This is my biggest problem in life, and my college instructors are average at best. It's hard to get anything done when you have to actively think about what you're going to say and immediately dumb it down a few levels just so more than 5% of the room will get it. I've had to be graded by an independent adjudicator on 3 separate occasions because my theses on papers are somewhat far-fetched but still were well within the guidelines for the paper. And I was later given A's on all 3 papers. I just want to make an original paper instead of something that has been exhausted. In many forms, this issue constantly crops up for me in the academic world, but nowhere near as much as in the work world. This has led to me be stuck working with people of diminished or non-existent intelligence because of progress in the work world. One must deal with academia. Hints, anyone? Maybe don't use a super in a 1v5 next time, okay? Damn, I didn't know we were replaying against 5 people. An admirable attempt to try and appear witty, yet it's ironic since you're clearly too ignorant to comprehend an obvious comparison of lives to people. Yikes. Not everything is about ease. Me, 14. No, I'm pretty sure it is. For context, I know Python programming and I automate just about everything I come into contact with. Oh, Python, right. It's like the easiest one to learn, isn't it? To everybody out there that knows Python, it's a joke. Please don't try and kill me. OMG, it's an angel! No, their brain isn't evolved to have sense of religion and afterlife, marked by some act like burial and making humanoid-shaped art. They simply don't understand what they don't understand and don't make any assumption to explain certain phenomena. You have got to be the biggest party animal on Earth. You ever think about all the consoles and trading cards and everything else rotting in landfills or forgotten in some attic or basement? Now I am sad. No. I mostly think about the unfathomable vastness of the universe or the inexorable tick of time. But that's valid too, I guess. I know I pronounced that word wrong. Seems like the Series X wins, as expected. No. How so? Explain your point, please. Have you studied computer science or quantum science or even compute unit science, or do you even understand what a teraflop is? Wow, dang. You capitalized the first letter of every single frickin' word. Did I really just see someone say it's weird how we have a vaccine for a virus less than a year old but no cure for cancer? Are you dumb? Do you know what a virus is? What cancer is? You wouldn't see someone say, you would hear someone say. Oh, my bad. Looks like I'm about to hear myself beat the crap out of you. To be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. The humor is extremely subtle, and without a solid grasp of theoretical physics, most of the jokes will go over a typical viewer's head. Bro, I've taken about 3 IQ tests and I'm in the top 1% in crap. Still don't make sense. Man, I hear you have to get a master's degree before you're even allowed to watch Rick and Morty at this point in time. Why do so many white people speak non-white languages? Cultural appropriation is a real issue, okay? One of the worst cases of this is in the realm of second languages. Caucasians love to appropriate cultures through language as a way to intrude on the lives of those who might not speak their language. It's seen as fun or interesting. Spanish is another issue. And Tumblr has had this debate before. You see, so many white kids at high school or college who are proud to be able to speak Spanish. Why not speak a European language like German instead of appropriating the culture of minorities? Gee whiz, it's almost like Spanish is an incredibly commonly spoken language here in the United States. Therefore, not at all a bad idea to learn. Awkward that you're saddened that he passed away peacefully. Should have said, passed away this morning, followed by the rest of the information. He died peacefully at home, surrounded. You might be book smart, but not people smart. Well, that's a possibility. I am neural diverse. It's been interesting being a smart female with an interest in accurate language usage. I understand that I take some getting used to. Yeah, you are quite a pill, aren't you? A horse pill. The more energy you have, the more faster you go. If you go faster than light, you time travel. What does this have to do with the video? Just to get a fact out there. You can't control me, so... This video is about phones, and phones have energy. My topic was about energy. See how it links? Why, yes. I definitely see how this tracks, my man. This meme is dumb. Just cause you are hours ahead in terms of sun rising and setting doesn't mean you know the future. It's illogical. Memes are supposed to show logical truth, not illogical thoughts. Even as a joke, I find it dumb. Now, we find you dumb, bro. I don't watch TV either, and haven't for at least 15 years. Just because mainstream hasn't called it a fact doesn't mean it isn't so. 5.5 deviations from the norm, or about 1 in 45 million chance of it happening. I am rarely wrong about such things. You should listen to me. But you won't. Hell, my own family is constantly arguing and trying to prove me wrong about things. Having an extremely high IQ isn't all it's cracked up to be. It's honestly boring to be so smart and understand everything. Yeah, I can totally imagine. Well, kinda. It's very difficult to explain my exact views. I would have to write an essay, history report, and a book report to explain it. Okay, do it. I know how to read. If Biden wins, I'm leaving the US and going to Hawaii. Vote red, a-holes. I solved this in 2 minutes. It's very simple. Black has so few options, being in a composition with mate in 3. What? It is obvious that white only will move the king, and the king on the B file. Having trained to quickly see the patterns of what a knight can do in a few moves is helpful for a beginner like me. And I never watch TV. Waste of time and brain. Never experienced this personally. I have very assiduous doctors with superlative acumen who are quite efficacious. I would, however, certainly embolden this for those who aren't as fortuitous. There it is. There's the thesaurus guy. Oh my god, we found him. Take your purple prose and screw off. What's the word we used to be able to say back in the day before PC and Karen culture? Well, what is it? If I tell you, then everyone else will know, and I can't kill that many people in one outing. What? It could have irreversible effects on my mental well-being and road to recovery. And now that everyone's dead from knowing what they shouldn't know, my path to recovery from killing everyone would be quite arduous, and some, who now aren't alive, would say an almost impossible endeavor. Seeing as all the therapists and psychologists are now dead, this is a quandary now. My sense of tattletelling says, do it, yet my sense of self-preservation is saying, be cool, monkey, be cool. I shall send a flare into the void of internet and ask for a friend option on this question. Sadly, I don't own a working phone. Another hurdle of a stumbling block. Coward. I prefer smartass or facetious if being pretentious sounding. Why can't Trump go to the White House anymore? Because it's for Biden. He's there for the next 3 months minimum, genius. To all the low IQ people, 2.5 months rounded up is actually 3 months. Thanks and have a great day. Oh yeah, one more thing. You can't comment on my appearance or my bio if you don't have a real profile picture. That's the rules. Peace. I love this and all her content, but dang, the way she says reconnaissance just rustles my jimmies. G'day. The word is French. Your arrogance and hubris are only overmatched by your overweening provincial ignorance. There, you poor silly Yankee from blah 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 blah. Such is life. Have a good one. Stay safe. Ciao!
Anyway, you also seem like an easygoing person, which I really adore. So much for the self-deprecating humor already. Am I being intimidating? I tend to write high-level English already up front.
Where, dude? What? Deprecating. Oh, man, of just absolute vocabulary caliber.
But don't worry.
We're not.
You can rest assured that I don't intend to overwhelm. I, in fact, trying to impress you.
Oh no, his battery's running out. Quick, get him some new double A's.
You also have a wide pelvis bone, which make you look fertile and procreation ready. Thus more feminine and attractive. Say, like a woman that deserves to grow my seeds. Oh no. This is the first post and I am already in, internal pain. The real question now. I can't. Will you nurse my seeds and grow them? You know, there are days that I look back on my Tinder and just remember the horrible and just pathetic lines I'd attempt to try and get at least one reaction, but then you see messages like this and you realize, you know what? Saying hello actually isn't that useless.
A situation like a traffic accident could definitely trigger an acute stress response, or more colloquially known as fight or flight. This is caused by the sudden and large release of including adrenaline and noradrenaline, which sends the brain into hyperactivity, resulting in a deferral to the most basic survival instincts.
Okay, that's not too bad. Just giving some nice facts about, fight or flight.
If I were put into that situation,
oh, there it is.
The driver that crashed into me would have been in seriously grave danger, as my alpha instincts would have taken over, and I possess extraordinary levels of strength and speed.
It's gonna be a lot of Icarus themes today, I feel. He just flew too close to the sun. I find it near impossible to relate to individuals on a deeper level if they're not atheists. They can be acquaintances, and they can be friends, but would I ever have a deep connection with that individual? No. Sadly, there is a point where conversations stray from reason to delusion. I noticed this trend in all the people I know that are religious or spiritual. Eventually, in one conversation or another, they stray from logique. This type of thinking just doesn't match my own. And I feel as if it would be impossible to form deep bonds with friends and romantic partners that aren't atheists. My Yankee, best female and male friend, close group of friends, family members I'm close with, all atheists. Adults who are afraid to check their bank account. College students afraid to check both. I assume there was a third panel here that makes the last panel make more sense.
Accurate as freak!
Gotta be accurate.
It's really not that hard to pay for college.
This just in, some random person on the internet has been brutally murdered by millions of college students using a single fork that they seem to keep using and sharing for all of their meals.
Anyone that says it is probably just doesn't actually try. I have a PhD in pharmacology. This is the doctor, just in case anyone who wanted to read my autobiography. And it's because I actually applied myself. Student debt is an absolute joke and fabricated by very lazy people. It's so easy. Step 1, save money. Step 2, live on a budget. Step 3, get a loan of 100k from your parents. Step 4, don't go out drinking every weekend. It's so easy, guys.
POV. You just started dating a decent guy over the last week. He seems pretty cool. You think of something clever or funny and decide to share it with him. Babe, I thought of that in like 3 minutes at work on break. Something you're gonna find out about me. I can essentially run mental circles around most people. Even as a kid, I could, my own dad and my teachers. I just see depth in everything. I can't explain it, really. Thanks for learning how to get dumped within a week. See you next time.
Oh, colors! Oh, no! Not the colors! Frick you, Tashi! I just wanted some goddamn shoes. If you're sick of corporations forcing politics of any stripe down your throat and you are smart enough to know they're patronizing you, then this is the book for you. Curse of the High IQ. See, that's me right there. I'm the little red guy. Come on, read it. The book's by me. You guys, please. It's my desperate attempt at self-promotion.
Oh, come on. That's not nice. Nice doesn't exist in nature. Every brain and every living being exists to survive and reproduce. Even friendship is not magical. It's a give and take system. My Little Pony friendship is magic would tend to disagree, sir. Until one side is not giving back and it becomes toxic. Or, you have children, then screw everything who isn't your child. It's just how your biological brain works. I will, however, ask you on the specific meaning. What did I wrote that was not nice? That's a bot, you idiot.
A squared plus B squared equals this.
No, give it back. No, it's mine. I'm going to use it for mine.
I was today years old when I realized how much of a nerd I am. My first thought was cute, but with Einstein, c was the speed of light, and with Pythagoras, c is the hypotenuse, and I didn't have to look that up. first thought. Thank you for your pointless input. Day 1 of COVID spike protein mass production. My arm is sore, and I slept 10 hours, but feel great. My ribosomes are probably about 10% of the way through exhausting the poly-A chains on the mRNA. The spikes have started to get migrated into inter- and intracellular areas, and my T cells have gotten woken up to witness the start of my immune system producing antibodies against the COVID spikes. Once enough T cells have been presented an antibody example, they will be ready for the real thing. Like, all you needed to do was type that first sentence, and it would have been fine. You had the chance to stop, but again, like Icarus, you've flown too close to the sun being your overbearing ego. Neither necessary nor sufficient. I fail in dating and do. They succeeded and don't. So treating someone as the person they are is neither necessary nor sufficient? Well, for ethical behavior, it is necessary. However, the dark tetrad, I think he means triad, exists because it is not essential for all dating goals. Ah, no, I see why they don't date you. And I'm a being from another planet, seemingly, according to this profile picture. And I'm a furry. Even we aren't interested in you.
If only they knew the truth. It takes a brilliant mind such as mine.
Let's hear it, Deb. Please reveal to us your wisdom. Yes, math is not a natural blueprint coded into nature. It was invented in 3000 BC by the Sumerians. As a social construct, our understanding of math varies with our culture and beliefs. Edit. Don't downvote me! Downvote your own ignorance! I'm 21 female. My whole life I felt like I was much more emotionally intelligent than my peers. Therefore, I still feel lonely and even more isolated now. I'm also really into visual arts and philosophy, and I'm exploring my truth and meaning in those fields. I find it really hard to relate to young adult books because they still revolve about things like what other people think, having illusions about romance and friendships, etc. Honestly, I'm way past these things, she says, feeling lonely. Canon in D is the Fibonacci of songs. Don't at me. Okay, so what does this mean exactly? I mean, I understand the concept of what you're trying to say, but I just don't know the words that you're saying it with. Fibonacci is the equation for beauty. I'm just saying it's a beautiful song is all. Then say that. Intelligence is a curse. You just find everyone else to be shallow and simple. Even making friends becomes difficult. If you know, you know. Here's an idea. Maybe stop approaching friendships like a university exam. Fixing typos in your text is for cowards. I'll message someone what's doing, and that's on them to figure out what I just said. Shows your ignorance and inability to use proper grammar. Really a great way to teach your children to spell and write a correct sentence. Feel sorry for you, but even more sorry for your children. Hope you were able to read and understand this as the spelling and grammar are correct. You flex hard yet can't structure a sentence. The Iliad, the greatest of all time, along with the Odyssey. Okay, fine, I'll buy it. 90% of the book is just Homer name-dropping 1,000 names that adds absolutely nothing to the narrative. Wow, so this is the power of the Greeks. God, it's posts like this that makes me so thankful I was educated at a top school where ideas were actually discussed, and pleb filth like you are kept on the other wide of the fence. So much so that you can't even fathom that there are people who understand, or like, the Greeks. If anyone in the world wants to know the true essence of why inequality exists in the world, it's captured in lower order people posts like this. Have fun with your poopy, ignorant life. A question for the other geniuses out there. Have you ever gotten to the point where you were all like, okay, now I can chill out? Never met one who could. I am not saying I will stop being a genius, but I will do a better job of letting others into my life, if they smell good. What? None of that cheap Victoria's Secret stuff. Just please don't flinch when I grab your hand. It's okay to blush. How did this go from woe is me to I am James Bond, I touched you, now you want my babies? What? Where was the transition? Meanwhile, in online content that your parents can't believe adults actually are doing and are making decent money from, let's talk about Pokemon Go. I never play that stuff. I don't follow trends. I'm an individual with a mind of his own, which in today's world is rarer than the rarest Pokemon, of which I would have no idea of what that is. Naturally. Okay, Nike, no. Don't put AI chips into more shoes, please. Not good. I don't consider myself intelligent, but people around me think I am. I like to read a lot without any particular topic in mind. So, when I start talking to people, they think I am intelligent, even though I am not. This intimidates ton of potential partners
partners. They think I am, and I quote, perfect, not into relation because of all my talking and stuff. Oh, this makes it so hard for getting into relationships. So basically, if you are intelligent, or people think you are intelligent, then your probability of getting a partner goes way down. Oh, that's it, mate. Oh, you're so smart, so self-aware. It's because you're so smart that girls lose interest. Yeah. Reality is going to hit you like a freight train.
Why do some people with a higher IQ look dumb? The more you know, the dumber you sound to stupid people, or the more you make people uncomfortable. This is so perfect. For the time that you look at this image, you don't know if it's a boy and a girl, or a girl and a girl, a boy and a boy, a black man, white girl, a white man and an Asian girl. You know nothing. Just the simplicity of the connection and the beauty of two human beings sharing love, and that's all that should ever matter. False. The external occipital protuberance on the right skull is much more pronounced, indicating that it is male, while on the left it is female. Also, both skulls have undulating jawbones, mostly ascribed to Caucasians or Africans. The back of the lower jaw is flatter on the left, meaning that the owner is most likely Caucasian. Unfortunately, the edge of the jaw is obscured on the right, making it harder to distinguish. Of course, all this data is imprecise, but it paints a picture of a straight, non-Asian couple, most likely both white. Nice idea, though. You know, I don't trust anybody that looks at skulls like this. They always seem to be portrayed in a very particular way in media, don't they? 19-year-old girl takes pride in not being able to socialize with people in her age group. When you get along better with the 35-plus-year-old chemists and PhDs than with the 25-plus-year-old party-goers? That's great. That's super cool. Look, if that's how you want to live, then I don't care. Why would it matter, you know? I guess at the end of the day, the big problem is always going to come back to you looking down on other people. There's nothing wrong with getting along with the 35-plus-year-old chemists and PhDs, but I know damn well when you're talking about the 25-plus-year-old partygoers, you're like, yeah, they're the losers. I don't want to hang out with them anyway. They never picked me for kickball. Guy I went to high school with. He also says he plans to run for president. He isn't joking. I live my life 500 miles at a time. No more, no less. I'm focused on my destination and think about the future. I'm a really complex and interesting person. Dude, if you're gonna run for president, you can't be posting cringe, okay? You have to wait until after you're in office to post cringe. You see, that's the rule once you make it. I can't wait to see if this dude ever actually tries. I don't really know I know that there's, age requirements and stuff like that, but I'd like to see whoever this is, so I can absolutely give them my vote. Reddit user flaunts his intelligence and superiority in his bio. I bet. I'm a software developer and a PhD in physics. I'm here primarily for fun and knowledge. One thing to know about me is that I'm nice only with nice and smart people. Given that lots of stupid people are out there, I'm not generally a nice person. I don't have the will to win people around, unless they're valuable and have contributed to this world positively. If you're not one of those, I very likely won't have the will to play it nice with you unless you play it very nice with me. It's just a really long way of saying, hey, if you're a jerk, I'm gonna be a jerk. Because you can just say that. But no, you wanted to purple prose this shit up, didn't you? You wanted to sound so much smarter and better than other people. Art critic fails to understand the point of an artwork. All right, hold on, let's see here. Let me take a look at this picture really quick. That's actually just a really good piece of art. I like it a lot. I can definitely, what's the word? Empathize? Sympathize? I get it. That's what I'm saying. I get it. I've been there. One of the worst drawings I've seen for understanding how light patterns from an area, the monitor. The spread is typical of a point source with enclosing shade, and even then the shadow of her head is ludicrous. Physics of light is part of communicative drawing and painting. These understandings emerged early in the Renaissance. Keep up? Man, imagine thinking you're an art critic and you take everything either literally or you look at it from a realistic perspective. Dude, that's so boring, okay? Grow up, dude. I regret that some of the women who could break my heart are women who can't sustain/initiate a conversation on black holes, Marxism, behavioral economics, criminology, smart agriculture, literary criticism, number theory, poison? No, that's not right. Distribution, etc. What a wasted youth. You sound very sad. Dude, look, anybody can talk about this crap. Anybody. Look, we'll start a conversation about black holes right now. I think they teleport you to the back rooms. All right, let's go. What makes you special? What makes me special? I'm 5'11", taller than most Indian guys. I'm 17 and own an iPhone 12 Pro. I have a PS5 as well as a gaming PC, Core i9 RTX 3090. I live in the United States of America, LA to be precise. Yeah, that makes you real special. My ex-girlfriends have all been white, something I'm proud of. That feels really weird. I'm an intellectual, okay? I think I'm a mix between alpha and sigma male, smalpha, algma, algma, I like that one. A lone wolf type, but very outgoing too. I'm working out to be more muscular at just 17 years of age. Most kids of my age watch Friends and I read Feynman lectures and watch more intellectual shows. I don't use garbage like Facebook, Twitter, or Reddit. Where is this posted? I only use Quora, LinkedIn, etc. Keep up your... So is this on LinkedIn? Because this is frickin' great. I like Italian food over Indian. I want to become a billionaire. Biggest life goal. Most of my friends are into middle-wage jobs. Dream higher and bigger, fellas. I like physics, maths, astronomy, over low IQ subjects like arts. Ooh. Someone wasn't creative enough to get into art schools. It's boring as hell and doesn't make use of the brain one bit. Are you high? I'm a budding polymath and polyglot. I'm pretty fair-skinned too. Why do you keep pointing stuff like that out? I prefer relationships over hookups, as I've tried them both. Oh, I'm so sure you have, for certain. You had to throw in the, by the way, I have had sex right at the end. That's what he's doing. Cute Japanese girl, thanks for the likes, please follow me. It's not only enough to be cute. I want to read intellectually stimulating posts when I'm on Twitter, with important messages and so forth. You want what? You come to Twitter for stimulating posts, like intellectually stimulating? I would kill to see this guy's likes. No, really, I want to know what kind of garbage they like. I'm sure there's a few, like, weird propagandic tweets sprinkled around a crap ton of hentai. I'm a biochemist, and I'm not impressed. Where's the vitamin K and folate? Never mind everything else. K stops bleeding. Why aren't they in a multivitamin? Bleeding people, kind of important. Where's the missing 33%? Vitamin C, you know, anti-cancer? Never mind the other missing stuff. You're a biochemist, and you just called vitamin C anti-cancer? So something here is not really adding up. What architect designed the glass pyramid in the courtyard of the Louvre? Philip Johnson? Frank Gehry? Two names I can't really pronounce? I know that the average American is very uneducated and pretty stupid, but these $250,000 and $500,000 questions would be below $1,000 in the UK. Did you know the answer? No. Stop the video before the riot, because I've seen this video. This dude's a G, okay? But did you know the answer, pal? This man's dating profile states he values intelligence. Intelligence. I can name all of the presidents backwards. I can name all current U.S. Supreme Court justices. Oh wow, because there's like 2 of them? All retired and living U.S. Supreme Court justices, plus a good number of U.S. Supreme Court justices from history. Can you stop saying U.S. Supreme Court justices, please? I can name all of the Super Bowl winners backwards. I can name all of the British prime ministers from World War II to today. I watch Jeopardy, and the hell does that stand for? Chase, split second, and tug of words. I'm a knowledge/information sponge. But you sound so sad. I mean, really. You can name names. You're smarter than the rest of us for sure. That's just knowledge for knowledge's sake. That's just trivia knowledge. How does that help you learn? How does knowing all the Supreme Court justices or every president backwards really mean anything in terms of intelligence? That just means that you can memorize a bunch of names. Like with me, almost every time an actor pops up on screen in a movie, I know who they are. Almost. Plenty that I can't name for sure, or I forget because I'm stupid. But that doesn't help me in any way. It doesn't mean I'm smart. It means I'm on the spectrum and I'm really good at going, it's Daniel Day-Lewis, I knew it! It's been 7 days. 7 days of learning Python, and I find it hard. My IQ is 126, and I know I'm a genius. However, coding is still a challenge to me. Should I quit or persevere? Isn't Python, recommended as a really good starting point? Easier to learn, harder to master sort of thing? Or was I told the wrong thing? Because I got into it for a tiny bit. About an hour, yeah. And everyone said, yeah, start with Python. That's the easiest one to start with. Other brilliant man, rare, and other humble enough to learn what you teach. Young kings, there's a price to pay for being a winner. At the highest echelon of brilliance, you can only be friends with two kinds of people. Other brilliant men, rare. Those humble enough to learn as you teach. Anyone else will turn on you, sooner or later. What? Stop trying to sound smart. It gets very confusing. Agreed. This is my most frequent reaction to performative outrage. I have a statistics degree, practicing the pathos side of reasoning used in the humanities. Emotion argumentation is ridiculous to point of parody, begging for satire. We cannot tell what's real or comedy any longer. Will you quit using big words like it makes it seem smarter? I know that's the most common thing to do. Break out the thesaurus, or rather the website, because who uses the book? I mean, come on. Break it out, and then just filter in a bunch of stupid words. Emotion argumentation is ridiculous to point of parody. Argumentation? What?
Practicing the pathos side of reasoning used in the humanities.
Just stop it. Just stop it. I literally learned Japanese just from anime. It's really easy to learn if you listen to it. I'm just kind of a genius, I guess. You need to prove that you learned Japanese from anime. And I'm not talking about, say, sugoi or nani. I want you to actually speak to someone who knows how to speak the language fluently, like a native, and then we can prove that you're full of crap. I don't know a single human being, no matter how genius, who has learned any language just from watching shows. No, come on, man. There's that dude on YouTube that does those videos where white guy surprises these people with their native language. I bet not even that guy could learn Japanese just from anime, and that dude is an insane genius. This is part of the reason I try to write with the amount of effort I do. It's far easier to understand by most metrics, along with the fact that it will be harder to see inherent flaws with how I write. Some people find it annoying when people write like they would a college essay, but I don't solicit that opinion anyway. Man, you actually have upvotes on this comment. It's kind of sad. Not that you put effort into a comment. I think everybody should and could be putting in a little bit more effort in their responses and comments and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to read an essay. I don't want to feel like I'm reading an essay, but this was a lot easier to read than some of the alternatives or some of the other things we've seen here on this channel, ain't that right? But you don't have to sound like such a douche when you do it. I personally think watching a game streamer is foolish, but to each their own. Entertainment is subjective. Whenever I try to comprehend the fractal abstractions of watching a person concealed by a fake personality and fake character overlay play a video game to a... That accent has changed like 9 times, by the way. I did like 40 different accents there. Okay, let me continue here. The fractal abstractions of watching a person concealed by a fake personality and fake character overlay play a video game to appease an unceasing waterfall of sentence fragments and emoji. My brain reboots. Did you really just use the phrase, comprehend the fractal abstractions? That doesn't mean anything. Remember, the average native English speaker does not talk like this. We don't say things like fractal abstractions. We don't do that. In all realness, in all realness with you, that doesn't mean a damn thing to any normal person. I am versed in the ways of the human mind. Before I liked this subreddit a lot, but then I entered the faculty of psychology and realized that its members lack quality as people, frustrated and projecting themselves on different people in practices or actions. This leads them to want to make fun of other people's pain and misfortune, shame and misery. Unpleasant people that I have no idea why they think they are superior to others. And I mean it. I have no idea. They all have the same respiratory system, and same digestive system. They're all the same. The only thing that changes is the shell and the masks that they create so exhaustively, so as not to look weak and mediocre. Okay, man. I farted. Thank you. We need more people like that guy out here. Love's like a cigarette. It's fun at first, but eventually it kills you. I'm 13, and this is deep. Okay, kid, I'm 16 and don't feel it's deep. Right now, quantum mechanics and string theory are deep for me. You don't know what either of those things are. I can almost guarantee it. The fulfillment of my dopamine receptors finds no equal to the profound satisfaction emanating from the consumption and introspection of striking specimens of philosophical literature. O. Edmund Husserl's Phenomenology, sorry, I read that. Phenomenology of habitually and habitus. You've rocked my bloody world. Again, none of that meant anything. That right there, by the way, what I just read, is how English sounds to people that can't speak it. You know what I mean?
The profound satisfaction emanating from the consumption and introspection of striking specimens of philosophical literature.
Watching a show clearly makes you smart with indispensable skills that can run a $30 billion public company. I love how we, the fans, were acknowledged as smart, discerning intellectuals. It's true. And I'm 100% certain that each of us knows it for a fact as well. You can only truly enjoy Succession if one is highly curious, highly capable of abstract thinking, and filling in so many... Oh my god. This is just... You have to have a very high IQ to enjoy Rick and Morty all over again. I'm so glad I never watched this show. Ironically, I find it limiting. It feels like I'm versed in the mundanity of life, and I'm still in my 20s. Very late 20s, mind you. Like, you're hearing the same joke over and over, and no one around you is tired of it. I have a friend who's not gifted, and the cycles he finds himself in are apparent to me, but still elicit the same vigor for him. I believe to be ignorant of your folly, in a dichotomous sense, is liberating. You can just start again tomorrow without being... That's great. Most mentally sane Discord user. Help me believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me tame this animal. Harvard graduate, PhD, IQ of 138. The Stanford Binet, it doesn't matter. Sex pundit? What the hell does that mean? Cunning linguist, free-thinking alpha male, and lone wolf. Likely hotter than you, and definitely smarter. Debate me. I'm ready. Remember, people that are looking to debate like this are trying to do it in very bad faith, and it's literally impossible to win. Because they're not there to debate you. They're there to get you into a, oh, gotcha moment, so they can, win or whatever. Also, how can you be an alpha male and a lone wolf? I thought the Sigmas were the lone wolves. As someone who tested in the 99th percentile and higher for reading skills in school, it really put my frustration with other people's reading skills into perspective. I would notice a lot of my classmates would entirely skip over words when reading out loud or read the first few letters of a word and then guess what the rest of the word is. There'd end up being an enormous gap between what was on the page and what was read out loud, both in terms of content and overall meaning. It was dreadful and kind of frightening that people were getting passed along in school on their way to graduation with somewhere between a 4th and 8th grade reading level. Felt lucky, though, as I was reading at a 12th grade level or so by 5th grade. Same, but I don't go around saying that, because it's weird. I'm very stupid, but the one thing that I could do really well, better than almost everybody I ran into in school, the one thing that I actually could do, yeah, that was reading. I could read and speak very well. Now, I leave a lot of my goof-ups in these videos now because I think it's kind of important that you guys know that I ain't perfect. I screw up reading these all the time, especially if it's something long like this. But damn it, that was the only thing I had. I'm not going to go around going, well, I'm reading at a college level and you're reading at a 9th grade level. You're stupid. Dude, no, I'm stupid. So is their IQ 150 or not? If you had an IQ over 150, would you tell anyone? No. What are the top 5 critical things that every young adult should know before they move out on their own? I don't know. How do people with IQs of 140 to 200 think from a social, intellectual, and practical point of view? I tested at 150 in high school. My parents showed this score to me and I decided to graduate early. You just decided to graduate early? Also, isn't the highest IQ ever recorded like 184 or something like that? So who the hell out there with a 200? Dude has a hissy fit about a minigun in a video game. First of all, it's a Maxim gun, not a Gatling, and especially not a minigun, which refers to a specific model chambered in 7.62 NATO rounds. Edit. Apologies, but pedanticism doesn't let that slide. First of all, that's not a Maxim gun, that's pixels on a screen. It cost you 400,000 downvotes to fire this little nugget of knowledge for 12 seconds. Also, I don't know why, I never see people talking about the minigun, but I was obsessed with that specific thing as a kid. Just to go off the rails for a moment, isn't it called that because it's literally a miniature version of the stupid cannon that they have to build a plane around? Guy shows off his big brain on a simple meme. Okay, cool. That's like very Giving Tree-esque in a way, I guess. We ourselves put mud on our heads by our senseless actions. Any quantum of advice proved futile. Our whole generation is an idiotic excuse for evolutionary theoretical Wow, some of these words don't feel real. See, I said just a second ago that I was really good at reading and speaking aloud, and then I come across words like that and they ruin everything. That God was like, psych, or psych, pronounced as psych instead of psyche, I see, as in using psychology to psych out someone. Psych was always just a lazy spelling of spoken words by someone who didn't understand what they were hearing, like Master of Ceremony, MC, turning into MC in writing by people who didn't know what MC was. Cool, that is how slang works. Thank you very much for the lesson. She, her. Smarter than you in every way, an expert in advanced physics and multiple languages, the light in the darkness of ignorance, that is this website. You can try to debate me, but I always win. Yeah, I wonder why. I just talked about that. Debate bros, including you, are not doing it in good faith in any way. You don't want to learn anything, you just want to win. Does feeding infants tea increase their IQ? Okay. I've been drinking tea since the age of 2. And I'm the smartest person I know of. That you know of? Are you high? I believe the caffeine in the tea increases a baby's brain activity and gets the synapses firing. This makes them smarter and more intelligent. I don't have any sources to prove it, but maybe some scientists could study this. When you're a baby, your brain is far more malleable than as an adult, so feeding babies tea/coffee could be a way to make them smarter. You're the smartest person that you know of, and you're suggesting we start feeding our infants black coffee. We are Magadonians. We are very smart. We stick together as one. We follow Truth Social. We put America first, and we will make America great again. Anybody want to take bets on who made this post? Anybody got any ideas? Because I'm coming up blank. This man thinks he's smarter, but he can't even type. I will do my best. You girls wanted the equal opportunities and obligations. Understand the offer to help can be resented. Your vibes is an answer. We don't have to tolerate your sole character accountabilities. As a respectable answer, soul actions is either attraction or that value of a cat's hairball in kitty litter. So done with female. I once valued females, then when they told me learn my worth and I measured theirs to how much they are hands-on life situations as me beside me and what test score that is school education wise. Every kid you made and don't have that man is a grade level held back. Some of you don't even rank daycare. Even if that wasn't one of the worst run-on sentences I've ever seen in my life, there's no way you could make sense of this. What I found crazy is that things like gravity are just theories and not actual hard definition fact. To my understanding, some science is just theory. Most science uses the scientific method, which I guess you can test, but most things just end up being theories. Don't try to debate me on this because I know nothing like Jon Snow. What? I am one of the most intelligent attorneys and penetrating legal minds of this generation. What? I don't like that term at all. One of the what? With its main office located in... this is like a Black Ops. What is this? Prides himself on his vast intellectual abilities and his ability to become an expert in any field of the law in an extremely short time span. Often learning in 1 week. Doctrines that even experts in their respective fields fail to grasp. This feels weird. Is this in a... Oh, it's an ad. Coming soon, the Dip Law Firm. Although he doesn't understand coding, he's still a frickin' genius. Programming is easy. Programming is easy. I don't freaking understand any code. My IQ is 143, and yes, I am flexing. Sorry, you are not forgiven. Asking if he would have made it into Mensa as a kid. I, independently of anyone's influence, discovered the fundamental theorem of calculus when I was in the 3rd grade, though I didn't really understand its full magnitude. Shortly after, I had also independently discovered algebra in 2nd grade. If my parents had let me skip... Wait, what? Shortly after I had... Oh, I see what you're saying. It's just written stupid. If my parents had let me skip grades and didn't prioritize socialization, I would have skipped at least 4. I took an IQ test after I got a concussion that seriously affected my processing speed and still got a 130. I don't know, dude. Should have corrected her spelling mistakes to show that she isn't smart. Should have. It can be pronounced either way, but thanks for the consideration, much appreciated. You've got to be kidding. You should really check up on it. The way of English literature is really different from when I was in school. Sure, a lot of people will smash them together into what is called a contraction. Am I right on that? Should've, should have, not should of. Sure, when we speak fast, it doesn't matter. I know what you're saying, you know what I'm saying. However, when you spell it out, it's a little different. On a conversation about pride. I'm 6'3", train martial arts, and have an IQ measured at 156. I was born into a family with ties to German nobility. My last name starts with von. You expect me not to be proud? I walked the streets knowing that I could take most people out both physically and intellectually. Why would I consider myself their equal? Only slaves and inferior people seek equality because they know they can't compete. When you're truly excellent and full of vitality, you despise... what? Egalitarianism? Wow, that is not... I just made up that word. What I said was not what that word says. Don't know what it is. See? They keep throwing these stupid big smart people words at me and my dumb idiot brain can't comprehend no more. When a worm is stamped upon the ground, it curls up and makes itself small. There's your humility. When a lion is challenged, it goes straight for the neck. There's your pride. So are you racist or something? Because you are really giving off some nasty ass vibes. Talking about, why shouldn't I be proud? Why would I not be? Only slaves and inferiors seek equality. Yikes. Wonder why he's still looking at 45. Let's see. I'm a professional nuclear engineer. What's there more to say? 6 foot plus, 6 figures, 260 with a 34-inch waist. Am I checking all the boxes? I do not care what you are. I don't care what you make. Men don't see any of it anyway. I want a real woman. Another reason I'm on here. I want to know how many likes I get, given I'm 0.5% of the population in this country. What? Freshly harvested from a discussion about democracy not being good. What? People have very obviously become objectively stupid collectively. Sure, I only notice this because I have this strange ability to think critically, yet you're not using it now. How strange. You of tears? Oh, okay. How do I balance an obsession with academia and having normal friends? I find it very hard to be attracted to, become friends with, or sometimes just hold conversations with people who aren't extremely intelligent. I guess in some sense you'd use the term sapiosexual, and it's ruining my life. I get called pretentious a lot, but really I just refuse to dumb myself down for people and am proud of my intelligence. I'm a first-gen uni student. I want to change before coming to uni since it makes me feel elitist or rude at times, and I feel like I'm cutting out a huge population of great people I can learn from just because they don't seem intelligent enough when I first meet them. Well, at least you're taking the first step to not being a douche. As long as you actually take people's suggestions seriously. I can suggest an equation that has the potential to impact the future. E equals mc squared plus AI. This equation combines Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared, which relates to energy, to mass, and the speed of light, with the addition of artificial intelligence. By including AI in the equation, it symbolizes the increasing role of artificial intelligence in shaping and transforming our future. This equation highlights the potential for AI to unlock new forms of energy, enhance scientific discoveries, and revolutionize various fields such as healthcare, transportation, and technology. What? Hot take. All monolinguals are the worst. Not simply English-speaking ones. Duolingo is free. Non-English monolinguals don't get a free pass for being monolinguals just because English speakers are the worst about their monolingualism. I have formerly studied Spanish, French, Russian, German, taught myself Swedish, and natively understand, is it Tamil? As well as have taught myself 7 programming languages. My largest issue is a lack of chances to practice, although I've recently decided I'll attempt Spanish fluency. Everyone should at least try to learn a second language, regardless of what their native language is. I do agree. At the very end, I do think everyone should at least try a little bit. That's why, high school still requires, or at least it did a decade ago when I graduated, that you take at least one second language, for I believe they required 1 full year, maybe 2 full years, I can't remember. All I know is I have studied Japanese, I have studied Spanish, I have learned a little bit of Finnish. I'm terrible, I can't retain anything, so I genuinely do wish that I was actually smart enough to fully learn another language. It would be super cool and incredibly useful, and I wouldn't seem like that dumb, super white guy that, probably refused to, when that's not the case. Alright? I'm just not smart enough to do that shit. And thank you for making me feel worse about it. Their tests are a failure. I'm literally a certified genius. So tell me I didn't pass their cognitive test just means that they don't know how cognitive tests work. In short, almost the entire test is numerical math problems, the kind no one ever actually does in real life. Yes, there were some actual cognition questions, but very few. Just math, and more math. I have a disability related to reading numbers. But again, I'm a certified freaking genius, and reading numbers has nothing to do with critical thinking. Nothing. Sure. Everyone is smart in their own way. Like with me, I'm not. And I'm like you though, I suck at numbers, dude. I'm so bad. The blue checks are at it again. This article is unreadable hate. This is truly the kind of razor-sharp analysis only $8 can provide. Inexpensive it may be at $8, the verity of authentication is unquestionable. One cannot discount the value of provocation to stir the dormant minds ensnared in the labyrinth of their own basement-dwelling existence. I'd willingly part with $200 knowing the chord it strikes. Damn, that sucks. You really yanked that off the shelf trying to make a tweet seem really, really smart. No, you're just embarrassed because you got the blue check mark and it symbolizes that, yeah, you are paying to look official. My unproven personnel theory explaining the Cambrian explosion is the development of the eye. Once the eye is developed, a processing arms race begins, whereby animals compete to better process and draw conclusions from the light entering the eye, as well as better and more capable eyes. Okay, but shouldn't your theory produce some falsifiable hypothesis? If it does, what are they? It's up to the theorist to take a stab at some of the falsifiable hypotheses that might follow from the postulated theory. Otherwise, it just sounds like you're saying, what if the Cambrian explosion worked exactly like the GPU/machine learning market has? I'm not suggesting that you're saying something so, is it facile? Doesn't matter. Just that your musings need more meat on their bones before earning a collective promotion to theory status. Theory status? There's no such thing as a status, dude. A theory is a theory. I have a theory that you're a dork. That hit theory status. Check that out, dude. I possess a quality that allows me to have both internal monologues and I can create an entire universe in my head and play out an entire story in short bursts of time using images and/or energy. But then there are people who cannot hear themselves think. Fascinating. You want to be interesting so bad. Vision's not too good, though. Those are words right there. Here's an educational meme I made. Hard to swallow pills. The average car does 17,000 times more damage than a cyclist, hence the minimal registration fees. Cyclers are safer riding on the street. Bike lanes help make roads safe for all. I have an IQ of 154, so use your words. Thank you. Okay, she's the kind of person whom if I explain the matter/energy equivalency proof, she would be like, I think most people would. Mainly because it's just you trying to be an asshole, trying to prove you're the smartest in the room while sounding like the dumbest. Not because we don't really know much about what the hell you're talking about. Even though I don't, I will admit. Oh no, this 18-wheeler's about to hit my car. Allow me to just gently nudge it out of the way with my body. 16-wheeler. Those triaxles on trailers are singles, not dualies. If they were dualies, it'd be a 22-wheeler. Facts. Edit. Then again, I'm not sure what the semi has for its own rear axle. That's not the point! Apparently, spending time on trick shots is only for the small-brained. Way too much time on their hands. Only a mere 35 hours for that card trick. You could see how happy he was when it finally worked. The stupidity and lack of mental complexity it takes to be excited by things like this is kind of annoying. You're kind of annoying. Go back to talking to no one, please.
No offers or rejections were sent out. That one dude who posted he got an offer is a liar. They moved their deadlines. We should be getting offers soon, all 3 rounds at the same time. Not true. I got mine and so did another friend who applied. When did you receive the mail? Well, that's impossible, because I didn't get mine! You are aware not all get offers, right? My IQ is top 0.001%! It's impossible I didn't get an offer. I'm proud of being objectively superior to everyone else that isn't me, if that answers your question. What question could someone have been asking that prompted that answer? Unlucky number of downvotes for you, sir. You're a pathetic troll. Shut up, little man. Sniffy, sniffy, I smell salt. Deep down, you know I speak the truth. My IQ is 187, which is more than double yours. Tee-hee. What kind of brainy, smart person says tee-hee? Like, damn, Ryan Higa, I didn't realize you were such an a-hole. Only the people who watched YouTube in the old days would get that reference. My IQ is way above the average. 200. And it took me approximately 2 seconds to understand the pattern. I find it funny that normal people like you are confused by simple things. Now, see, that's how you come across as a really condescending a-hole in your laughter. Ha ha. Not this tee-hee. Who the hell is tee-hee? Unless you're a little mouse in a children's cartoon, you do not tee-hee. I don't know why I'm getting so antsy about tee-hee here. I just feel like if you're gonna be a smart but smug a-hole, at least learn to laugh condescendingly. You know, it's like the difference between a really lame villain and an actual villain with depth.
This is a review of a new Portal 2 mod that adds time travel. There were many gems in the reviews, but this one takes the cake. Recommended. 3.3 hours in the last 2 weeks. So basically they just started playing the game. Normally I would not take anything serious if it claims time as another dimension. However, this game wraps my brain the same way when I try to imagine geometry in the 4th dimension, so I'll give it a pass. Oh, thanks, teacher. How foolish of me to forget that this game was purely designed to pass your assignment. This meme is too intelligent for most of Reddit, my gamer. Yeah, you're probably right. It was a bit of a gamble to post it. I don't think it is bad to post. I just think most Redditors haven't even heard of Schrodinger's cat, and if they have, they don't know what it is. Okay, no, shut up. If you're going to gloat your ability to know references, at least learn to spell those references correctly. Being intellectually superior gets exhausting. I refuse to waste time arguing with peasants over concepts they cannot comprehend. Right. You wrong. End of story. Oh no, John, when I said I wanted more space, I don't mean in your post, I just mean from you. You have no idea about my education. Why don't you add an E and look up my last name? So hang on, that doesn't make it your last name then, does it? I am Prussian royalty and German nobility dating back to Frederick the Great. I took math and sciences in the 7th grade that you will probably never see in your entire lifetime. Does anyone want to tell this guy that everyone does those kind of subjects in the 7th grade? Moral of the story, school wasn't intellectually challenging enough for me during my freshman year with attendance issues, yet stunningly high grades. My guidance counselor maybe should have offered some guidance. Oh, smarty brains who blame someone else for their own problems. It's nice, it's different. I was already taking advanced classes, but app and ib weren't even a thought. I honestly still don't know the difference. Oh, I imagine it really hurt them to say those two words together. Because I graduated high school with credits that also were college credits that were worth a whole college semester. So, hands in the air and wave them around like I just don't care. I shouldn't have been punished for being smart with good grades, but having missed days. I learnt different and needed different. I didn't fit into the very outdated colonial system of school that was designed for farming schedules. Okay, look, I will agree to a bit of that last paragraph. But again, you're being such a smug a-hole about it, I just want to disagree out of spite towards your own behavior about it. Like you're the kind of vegan that ruins the whole moral compass of it all because you act so smug and up yourself about it. The last thing germs will be caught doing is going on food before 5 seconds. Hey, that's funny. They move far too slow. Anybody with a brain and a decent understanding of basic microbiology can figure out that the 5-second rule makes no sense. Hey, you ruined it. Oh, sick and tired of not being able to communicate effectively because I use too many words. I'm going to have to learn how to simplify my knowledge much better in the future. Imagine taking the time to type this out and thinking anyone else cared. Honestly, the fact you have 14 friends supporting this post, look, that is an accomplishment for someone with your kind of mindset. I am of the unfortunate ilk that cannot sleep at night if I do something wrong or hurt someone knowingly. And as I am too intelligent to not see the truth, I have no choice but to always do the right thing. This is why I am glad I am not in medicine. What, why? What has your terrible ability to apply constructive criticism or at least read the room got to do with you and medicine? Yay, Tinder profile! Voracious. Oh, look, see, they did a word that's a big word. They're a big smarty person now. Oh, if I was a girl, I'd just be turning into a swimming pool. Consumer of information, trivia, and educational material alike. I enjoy conversations that are engaging, even on an intellectual level. But hey, sounding smart is exhausting. So let's talk about deep, meaningful things and in the same breath, sound dumb together and do dumb stuff while claiming to be smart. Because, oh, why not? Life's too short. I'm here for the process, not the outcome. If you know what I mean. Swipe right. Well done. You applied synonyms to the saying, it's about the journey, not the destination. You were, wow, your brain is just, it knows no bounds. Okay, us intelligent people come off as stupid. I swear, it's not our fault. In case I didn't make it clear, I am a smart person. That I'm a part of the intelligent people in the world. I just don't know if it was clear enough in my comment. I hate small talks. I want to talk about atoms, death,
alien sex, intellect, a meaning of life, faraway galaxies, music that makes you feel different, memories, the lies you've told, your flaws, your favorite scent, your childhood, what keeps you up at night, your insecurities, and your fears. I like people with depth, who speak with emotion from a twisted mind. I don't want to know what's up. But all those things are literally what's up with someone. Sorry, not everyone's as willing to overshare their personal life and insecurities to you from the very first moment you talk together. Like, sometimes you just have to start with the small talk to ease into the moment. Game character profile says, I would brag about being smarter than most adults here, but that is like bragging that you can talk to a baby. See, everyone here's a baby except me. As we know, Emma Watson is a superstar on every level. Well, other than the fact she's not much of an actress, she was dreadful in Noah, and a big batch of post-Potter things I've seen her in. Not that I'm complaining. Really, as she's one hot babe, and I'm quite happy to just stare at her. Hello, random lady. I think you are very terrible at your career choice, and you suck at it. But hey, you're pretty. I bet you get all the ladies with that superstar personality of yours. What a fatuous comment. Barely restrained sycophancy. Oh god, it's... Just say lol, Kay, and move on, man. Barely restrained sycophancy dribbling off you there, my dear. I voice an opinion, you make a caustic remark, ad hominem, incidentally. Maybe look that up. Anyway, being a good-looking bloke, who seems to resolve to Earthwind Jim as its profile picture because he can't actually show his face because he's too afraid to admit to the fact that he's actually not that attractive. Yes, I do. The ladies are queuing up. You like that thesaurus, don't you, bruh? I'm a prime example. Put aside high IQ and let's focus on basic mechanics and some embarrassing facts here. I can pick up practically anything and become quite good at it far quicker than anyone you pluck off the street. I study quantum mechanics, cosmology, electrical engineering, genetics, and all sorts of topics because I find learning to be a fun and rewarding experience. Thus, I understand many things most human beings cannot even begin to contemplate, much less claim to truly understand. Most people who don't have 140 to 150 IQs really can't effectively differentiate between J&J and other vaccines. Stop accusing an artificial IQ number to validate your intelligence. You're not that intelligent. We need a clear message. Best case is they permanently pause J&J vaccine and make clear that Moderna and Pfizer vaccines use a different technology. Oh, thank God someone's gonna set him straight. To be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand the vaccination effort. The differences between mRNA and adenoviruses are extremely subtle, and without a solid grasp of modern immunology, most of the public health messaging will go over a typical American's head. Oh, okay, they're just talking about Americans then. Well, now I'm not offended. Agree. Sir, it is ill-advised to ensue superfluous issues with an individual who is equipped with the intellectual balatoy to depreciate and counter the entirety of the ignorance you have facilitated. Please don't be that person. For some reason, I'm in love with you. I have been finding joy of late by returning to my roots and my core aspiration to be a brave and capable intellectual explorer, seeking out the deepest, most important questions and then working to answer them. I'm always amazed that there are so few of us who think this way. Oh my god, you are not brave for being smart and wanting to be smart. Are they seriously trying to apply a victimhood mentality to being able to learn good?
I got a 93 on my algebra final. This doesn't sound very impressive, but I'm so proud of myself. I've always struggled in math, receiving F's, D's, and C's, and for once in my life I've done well. Maybe math isn't so bad after all. Nice job! That's awesome. It is an impressive accomplishment. Nah, what's more impressive is that I was able to keep straight A's on all of my quizzes and tests, and the fact that I always used my laptop and never paid much attention in class. What's impressive is how far your head is up. Whoa, and that's where the post cuts off. We don't need to see more of that. Haters gonna hate. I might be an idiot, but I got a full ride in college. 100% tuition covered on an academic scholarship. Edward J. Blaustein Distinguished Scholar. Never studied for a test. I never gave a crap about the number. But in retrospect, now that I'm an adult, I wish I had been told earlier how different I was. Always thought I was just a little smarter than the average bear. But now, as an adult, I continue to grow in my interests and pursuits, while many around me seem stuck or stifled where they are. Both the terms minimalist and polymath have been used by others to describe me. Thanks for the info on Stephen Hawking. I used to think I was crazy for sitting on top of a mountain for hours at a time pondering stuff like, what really is a photon? But in light of your new information, I suppose it's normal behavior. Have a nice life. That's only a $1,000 annual scholarship. I am better than you. I'm smarter, classier, more interesting. I care about the world. I have deeper emotions than, those shoes are pretty, I don't care about that. Yes, I am an elitist, but last time I checked, the elitists ruled the world, not the mindless masses. You buy things that are in fashion, even when they look awful. And you claim to care about beauty, but don't put any thought into it. And speaking of thought, what was the last deep thought you had? And you little drama-filled teenager, you are so typical I could scream. I'm going away. I'm going to college so I can find people who love to think, to read, to write, to be themselves, to dream. Not to be stuck in some little nothing town, thinking nothing thoughts. And I'm not religious. I don't believe in God. God, I'm getting allergic to all this pretentiousness. And I'm not religious. I don't believe in God, and I don't pray. You're a hypocrite. And it gets to the point where I can't stand sitting with you, or talking to you. Can I even speak with you? What shall we speak of? Bags? Shoes? How good this tastes? What about art? What about passion and injustice and violence? What about the world? Stay in your place. Stay in it. You couldn't crawl out if you tried. Study me. I never get bit. My wife gets eaten alive, mostly because I've optimized my biochemistry after studying a bit of molecular biology. A uniform with your name on it is waiting for you. We're hiring. I'm too nice to be a police officer. However, as a coder, I could basically create a black web search bar that would find most criminals easily, or people trying to do bad stuff. Like bully me online. Last night confirmed Bran Stark as one of the more useless, overrated characters in television history. One of the most. More is typically used when relating two things. Most when relating more than two things. Especially if you're gonna say one of the, you're definitely referring to more than two things. I BS'd 3,700 words, creating an entire company's extranet, not giving a crap it was worth 300 points. Got a 300 out of 300, and my professor told me it was genius. Okay, lady, whatever you say. I mean, I guess having this high IQ if it makes my BS genius. Oh, well, I'll take it. Oh God, this is making me out of breath. I hate this guy. I hate these people, these pretentious little worms. My brother, who chooses to get C's. Today, my teacher told me that despite being in 7th grade, I could read in a college level. I didn't need her to tell me that since my IQ is so high and everyone kinda knew. Y'all are so lucky your IQs aren't high. I bet it makes conversation easy when you don't think. When people get bored in school, they draw random crap. I got bored and drew most of the periodic table of elements from memory.
I am smart.
I would rather cuddle than smash. If you're good at grammar, you'll get it. Wow, an angel? Me? Of course. You're the most beautiful thing I've seen. Are you not afraid of me? Do you have disgust of me? No. You're very cute. That's adorable. It's an adorable little comic. Someone posted this and asked what people thought about it. My answer, Toxoplasma gondii parasite. One of the world's most common parasites. I'm so much fun at parties. I'm, not im. It's a contraction, you see. One keystroke shorter than I am. You, on the other hand, attempt to get by with im, a meaningless word. I am not even sure how to respond to that foolishness. Eat a wiener. Do you know how to respond to that? This video was about 65% acknowledgement and 35% rebuttal. When the discrepancy is that wide, it's 100% damage control from being roasted. Why do I waste my time with these big words? The majority of these videos have an audience who has 60% of an average intelligence. Drug dealing actually doesn't pay that well. A lot of drug dealers don't have a good business acumen. Sometimes I would consider the game, given my business education and background. But upon business analysis, my specialty, not for me. They refuse to compete with me on an intellectual level, because that is a battle they know they will inevitably lose. Okay, Venom. Albert Einstein is wrong. He is given E equals MC squared proof error. Multiple rule of differential calculus mathematics is impossible to apply on mass. Mass is state constant at speed of light. Mass change only state of matter. You dummies. That is worse than seeing your post already has 20 upvotes in half a minute, but after that it stops. I don't actually take part in sharing posts via Reddit as I do not care about the karma points. I regularly browse Reddit only to spread my knowledge and be useful. The fact that people care about fake points makes me very angry. Why not try doing something useful instead? For example, learning Latin. I didn't become successful by posting on Reddit. Most of you, by most I mean all, won't become as successful/rich as me, but please at least try doing something better. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell? False! Mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cell. Mitochondria is plural. The singular is mitochondrion. If that's the only thing you learned from school, I'm sorry to say you messed that up too. I've done this with at least 15 games easy. I've never finished this game, and it's been a while since I played. Better start over. I usually finish games within a few days of getting it. I guess not everyone is able to figure out the fastest ways to finish games. I usually look for patterns in level design and identify the fewest things I have to do to get from one level to the next. This is just how I always was. I'm able to get through 10 to 15 each month. But I could do more if I felt like it. Me, nobody uses law anymore. Me, uses law 282,762,475 times that hour. Lol, just wondering, how old are you? You're creepy. Although yes, this is funny, math isn't on your side. Assuming it takes 0.2 of a second to press one key, and it takes estimately 0.60 seconds to type LOL, there are 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. Taking 3,600 divided by 282,762,475, you get 1.273153 E-5, or in words you understand, 0.00001273,153. This number represents how long you would have to take exactly to type LOL in order to fit 282,762,475 LOLs in 1 hour, assuming it takes 0.6 of a second to type the word. So yes, blank. LOL is overused, but 282 million times in 1 hour is just impossible. Here's another fact. If you counted one number greater every second, it would take 12 days to count to 1 million. To count to 282,762,475, that would take 3,272 days, or approximately 8.96633,926 years. Fun fact too, it would take 32 years to count to 1 billion. By the way, just wondering, how old are you? And no brain in the heads to understand what I'm saying to them. When I was 7, I tested at 111 IQ, comparatively smarter than most adults, not even my age. Over 120 IQ was smarter than most adults, into the adult gifted range. Not the child gifted range, the adult gifted range. As a child, I was genius level. According to the 2 freaking intelligences out of 8 I could have even been good at age 7. And even then, after evaluation, I think I hit near genius level at 7 of the 8, even today. And it does nothing for me. When I was 19, I marked at 134 IQ on the WAS-3, which is Mensa level intelligence, and only serves to show I was in the 4th percentile of adults that had been tested in the world, and 2 of the frickin' intelligences they measure, which is a load of bullcrap. Even though I'm pretty sloshed, and I can still write a big old post with mostly correct grammar and be fine. Some folks see me make a post somewhere while drunk and see my responses and go, oh wow, that's pretty coherent. Welcome to being smart, mother effer. Nothing gets me away from my own brain. Welcome to heck. Most folks while sloshed can't do this. I tested this way off Adderall, Buspirone, Microgestin, Propranolol, and Abilify. All things that combine to make my disorders mostly disappear and make me 95% more functional than I've ever been. Now at 27, I'm suspecting I would be in genius level IQ at the age I am now. At least I know the difference between foot and feet. Or perhaps you're one of those gay spelling freaks. Leave the law, physics, and fluid dynamics to more intelligent people like me. Y'all think it's funny to reinforce the socio-normativity implying that Plato-normative society is funny, while oppressing marginalized platonic-oriented people, such as aplatonics. This is a form of aphobic allonormativity, strictus suppletism, and verophobic ceticism. Bro, what language is this? Sisyphus works from home. Please understand that only educated people will get this. A refreshing counter to the I don't need no education post so fashionable lately. I am smarter than the president, most elected Republicans, a crap load of elected Democrats, apparently the two most powerful members of UK Parliament before today, and last week I managed to accidentally destroy my electronic car keys while hitting golf balls. This should scare you. Interestingly, and insultingly enough, they make you line up like cattle to be your own waitress and fetch your own water. Not a very sophisticated way to serve customers. It's fascinating to observe how intellectually limited some people are, and yet still survive. Good for a takeaway coffee and a quiet chuckle at their lack of awareness. Please don't complain to me about how life is so horrible because you can't watch Game of Thrones the day it comes out. I'm over here calculating the Big Bang probabilities, so your crisis is literally too minuscule in the scope of things. Thanks, Big Brain. When people ask me what my GPA is, I say, I don't like to talk about marks. This is not because I have a low GPA, but because my GPA is really high and they'll feel bad about their marks. In a way, I am withholding my marks from others as a public service. You're welcome. Hello. How do I know you? No, I was just on the FB and I found your picture, so I sent you a friend request. I hope it does not bother you. As long as you're real and don't hack my page, I could give two craps. Why? Dude, I have a 157 IQ and don't trust you already. Okay, bye. Completely different take on it based on personal experience. First, I'm gonna tell you my personal experience and then the theory. So, I'm kinda smart. I'm an overthinker that can figure stuff out pretty quickly, a great logical thinker and a good memorizer, but I have a huge problem. I'm a procrastinator. So I recently started drinking coffee. Is the word swifty in here? And it had pretty swifty effects on me. Oh, I hate you so much. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. I started being less lazy and even smarter. I could easily do tasks and homework pretty quickly without even thinking a lot. I can also feel literally no lane or laziness while doing homework, and I just do it while thinking about literally anything else. I can also still memorize even if I'm not focusing on the subject. It also enhances my memory, thinking, and reaction speed, and it makes it easier for me to redirect my overthinking and thoughts to the problem on hand so that I can fix it quickly and efficiently. So anyways, I am already smart, but coffee makes me even smarter and better as a person in general. By the way, I also have this effect happen to me rarely without coffee, and it felt so good. So I was shocked when I saw that effect coffee had on me.
I see. Very smart.
Honestly, I feel the same as this kid. As a kid who is about the same age as he is, I too have tried on numerous occasions to determine alternatives to the speed of light, be it through redefining the permeability of free space to not just through a vacuum, to changing the Dell operators for the equipotential services along electric potentials. This is a joke, right? For your feeble mind, anything but crayon art would be too advanced for you. I'll bet you have no idea what I just said, did you? I'm reading up on a lot of vector calculus, friend. Do you even know what a vector gradient is? I thought not. SMH. Look at your username. Pathetic. Yes, a rare spectacle of an r/IAMVERYSMART person posting an r/IAMVERYSMART without realizing the irony. Ash? Hyperbolic? As a fellow lexicon aficionado, I'm quite impressed with your panoply of words. Finally, another soul whose wherewithal is similar to that of mine in terms of vocabulary. WTF are you on about, virgin? This is the worst school in America. It doesn't care for its students. Only the principal cares for themselves, and the teachers are mean and untrustworthy, and they embarrass you in front of class, and the assignments are bogus. Yes, I used a big word because I'm that smart.
You fool, you fell victim to one of the classic blunders. Never enter a battle of wits with a Sicilian? Nope, I'd rather tattle and post on Reddit. Tattle, are you 7? I'll be 13 in a few months, and my grammar is better than yours. Sure. Have you ever come up with a theory on quantum physics only to find out it was already theorized by someone? Because that just happened to me. FML. No, that's never happened to me. And you know what? Coincidentally, that's never happened to you either. I know you think it has, but trust me, no it hasn't. Nice try, though. You're right, I don't get the joke. It's not even funny. Explain the joke to me like I'm 5, because to me, it's just like some kind of painful-to-watch psychological situation where someone with less emotional intelligence attempts to ridicule or belittle someone's more intelligent achievements to make themselves feel better. You can just say, and leave it at, you don't get it. You don't have to play the I'm smarter than you game. Trust me, we know you're a genius. This is going to be beyond some people's spatial reasoning capabilities, but I'm not even talking down to them. You literally are. You actually are. The world needs brains that specialize in different things, and some that are just satisfied doing simpler stuff. We've evolved to coexist as a variety of functions in harmony. So, don't get frustrated if this isn't adding up to you, because the world needs you for other things. No, I'm not talking down to anybody, but all of you stupid people should be happy being stupid. I mean, I'm pretty frickin' dumb and I'm happy being dumb, but that's beside the point. The fact that you think that someone is stupid and will remain that way and there's no way for them to get out of it, because I know that's what you're talking about. The dumb people gotta do the jobs that are below the smart people like you, and they're supposed to stay there forever, because you're smart. On a post about take-home tasks for job interviews. Wait, what? I value my time and effort more than most of the people on this planet. I mean, of course you do. We don't give a shit about your time and effort, and you don't care about any of ours. Why not spend that time working for nonprofit or open source? Bro, think about that. So you're okay with spending 20 hours on an open source project that provides you no benefit, but not 20 hours on a project so solidify a job opportunity? That's it. I'm logging off this site. Pretty sure I'm smarter and more successful than literally everyone on this post right now, so no point in arguing with you people. Yeah, you just get that out of the way now. Just get it out of the way that you're gonna hide and run. That's it. Thanks for reminding me how pointless it is to try and speak sense into any internet community. I guess, dude. I mean, you're right about that, but God. I'm in Philly, and a lot of people are wearing Eagles jerseys, and maybe I'm a curmudgeon, but the idea of publicly wearing a jersey and orienting your whole day around getting excited about a game where people run into each other with helmets is vaguely annoying. Sorry, there are long pauses here because I'm trying to wrap my head around how you can be such an arrogant prick. I'm not a sports guy either. I really don't care. I don't. But Jesus, dude, shut up. Just shut the f*** up, dude. Seriously, no one cares. Okay? The only thing that you should complain about is, football fans turning over cars while people are still inside and destroying property and freaking the f*** out because their team won or lost. Won or lost, not lost. As if that is an excuse of any kind. I don't know. If I wanted to feel better, my 164 IQ, multiple degrees earned by age 16, wrong, presidential awards of academic excellence, 3 college grants, perfect GED scores paid for by the Army due to my 88 ASVABs, consisting of 121, 122, and 123 in all line scores from medicine to engineering, work as an engineer, programmer, therapist, math teacher, enrollment. What the hell, dude? What? Literally none of this can be true, right? Okay, some of it can be. Obviously, some of it can be true, but there's no way in hell you're like the most academically accomplished motherfucker on the planet. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry about all the cursing to the editor here, but you people are insane. What about you? Have all of your achievements combined outshone one self-educated guy who was homeless until age 19 in just a single field? If you're twice as smart as average, then no, they never will. Go seek approval from a valley girl. You'll find none here. I'm sorry. I, myself, along with I'm sure a good few other people, don't need the approval of a compulsive liar. Because that's the vibe I'm getting from you here. What else have you done? Were you one of the guys that walked on the moon? Low IQs simply fail to understand how the world works. Their jobs are easily replaceable, which makes them more expendable for the government. Most of the prison burden is concentrated in the lower IQ segment of the population due to their inability to appreciate the long-term consequences of their actions. Okay. They have far fewer abilities and skills that can be usefully contributed to the community. They simply lack the cognitive ability to be responsible citizens, and I'm very glad that I'm not one of them. They're just like livestock, but without the return on investment. Ingrate parasites. You are probably one of the most arrogant people I have ever seen in my life. I don't care if it's a copy pasta or bait or whatever. I'm sorry. That can't just be a goddamn excuse all the time. This is the single most big-headed, arrogant POS I've ever read a message from. Yeah, pretty much everyone in prison is just livestock, piece of shit parasites. I'm better than all of them, and they're completely useless to society. Logan Paul publishes his detailed findings on the nature of the universe. I figured out the universe. Let's see. Infinity as a concept doesn't exist in the natural universe. Okay. Sphere/circle equals God shape. Celestial bodies. Okay. Universe is likely finite. 3 contained, 3 spherical? Time infinite? Well, time seems to be a construct, so why would it have a point where it stops? What are you talking about? Eventually, all stars will die equals no more light. Yes.
The universe will die someday. If the universe is contained, has an end, can we assume apple in a box theory? I don't know what that word is. Something recurrence? When everything is dead and dust becomes a dense collection of matter, B gravity, black holes everywhere. Universe essentially collapses in on itself. Big Bang, universe repeats, life is cyclical. We become the apple again, okay? Nothing matters except the time we have now and each other. Dude, duh. Are you thinking that you're some mega genius because you have regurgitated what is this? Astronomy 101? Physics 101? What is this, man? What is this? This is just, did you smoke and sit around a campfire? Because I think you did that. I think that's exactly what happened here. Just admit it. That's totally fine. You went on a vision quest and woke up with a bunch of dumb notes. Or you watched some EmKay videos. I don't know. You're a genius, man. In an NHL stream chat room, clearly better than all us peasants. Don't speak slang, jargon, or American English, I have standards. I mean, there's only like a couple of words I can think of where you'll be like, oh, it's American English, but I'm sure you'll notice. I'm not saying I'm particularly special, I'm just saying that the rest of you aren't. I feel like I'm 10 to 15 years ahead of my peers. When I was 5, I was thinking about high school. When I was 10, I was confused as to why I couldn't start college, given I'd finished most prereqs when I was 15. Oh, I see how he split it up. When I was 15, I got a simple office job and outperformed adults with master's degrees. No, you did not. At 20, I landed a 6-figure job, had already invested a decent amount in the stock market, okay, and had set up a retirement account since 18. It continues like this for 10 years or so. I've always felt like my peers are blah blah blah, I'm an arrogant piece of crap, you're all beneath me, I'm awesome. That's basically the gist of most of these, but that one was reeking, dude. I have an IQ of 298. No, the literal you don't. No, you do not. That is so obviously a freaking lie. Oh my god, it hurts. It feels like a stupid bait comment or something made by a child, but I'm pretty sure a simple Google will show you that the highest IQ that we've allegedly ever recorded was 228. And you're saying not only did you beat that, but you beat it by that much? Okay, my IQ isn't even 150, but it's still nevertheless sufficient to instantly peg you as an insecure, underachieving who significantly overestimates his own cleverness as an internet troll. There you go. We didn't need you to... No, you know what, Jose? You know what? You're right. Nothing wrong. You rock. My friend's WhatsApp profile picture. Simple chess strategy? Okay, that's pretty cool. Someone just wanted to ask about a damn face mask. When and how to use/apply mask. What is lotion for? Is that for face too? I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, merely a humble neuroscientist with a PhD in astrophysics? I majored in... No, is that a fucking question? No, I'm being for real. Are you asking if you are a humble neuroscientist with a PhD in astrophysics? Are you asking? I fucking hate that. I majored in astrology. You majored in astrology? Okay, what? Did you mean astronomy? But went on to get my degree in numerology. Moreover, that is beside my gratuitous point. I've never seen the word gratuitous. Is that a word? In my understanding, you use a mask pro Renata, as needed. Just say as needed, douche nozzle. Not every day/night like moisturizer. I generally pick a time when I'm going to have a child-free or sleeping house. Run a bath and relax, blah, blah, blah. You night to wash your face first, okay, wow, you're so smart, but you can't type. It's all about the little things. That's where the best parts of life are holding and condensed into... God, you're insufferable people. OP's comment on his own photo submission of a personalized license plate. Oh, the decadence and vanity. Oh, the decadence and vanity that some are wont to exhibit. Lo, I have borne witness to a most absurd and perplexing sight, one that surely must raise the eyebrows of even the most frivolous and vain amongst us. Behold, a horseless carriage adorned with a license plate of most wanton and lascivious nature? Jeez.
bearing upon its face an inscription most vulgar and risque. To think that a creature so noble as the horse, whose beauty and grace is a wonder to behold, should be so debased and degraded by the likes of human vanity. Surely this vanity plate serves as a testament to the moral and intellectual decay of our society, where the pursuit of material pleasures and carnal desires reigns supreme. Alas, that we should stoop to such depths of depravity and moral turpitude, where even our modes of transportation are made to bear the mark of our base desires and indulgences. May the sight of such vanity serve as a sobering reminder of the corrupt and degenerate nature of humanity, and may we strive to rise above the base and vulgar impulses that threaten to engulf us in a mire of moral decay. Holy crap, put down the thesaurus and shut up. Please, please, I'm begging you on my knees. Did all build a boat player become engineer after playing this game? Mechanics are pretty easy and understandable if you have a 115 to 140 IQ. Okay, what does that even mean? You have expressed a desire for me to demonstrate your incompetence in matters of the past. With my simple question, I demonstrate your incompetence. Can you tell, please, on what particular day does your calendar begin? What exactly event happened on the first day of your calendar? What event happened on the first day of my calendar? The first day of the month. Please continue to show your incomprehension for a clear demonstration of your not only incompetence in matters of history, but also simply written text in English. This should be good for a laugh. You can also give a direct answer to my simple question about the starting point of your calendar if you know the answer. You can also admit your incompetence in the matter, explicitly admit that you have no idea about basic of past and history. Oh my god, I'm with that guy. I could never get into the Harry Potter books as a kid, but that's because I was a bibliophile. When you read more than just what's assigned in school, you have frames of reference and can easily see how mid that series is. For years, I was told it was poor taste to talk down about that fandom, but clearly not enough people were ragging on it. They're children's books, Chill out. Seriously. Also, did you really call yourself a bibliophile because you didn't just read what was required of you in school? Oh, I read like an extra book this year. Nah, if you ain't reading 5,000 books a week, you can't call yourself a bibliophile. Delete this post. What's the point? What's the point of anything? What a great question. One that certainly can't be answered within a Reddit post. Sure it can. Just take an extra 5 seconds to type it out. If your point here is to be witty, let me refute it. There certainly is a point to posting on subs like Crusader Kings, although what that point is, I'm not certain. But I do know that generally I'm sorry. No, I'm good. Facebook philosophy. All right, what do they say here? Dear Absolutist, please know that we all don't have the same extreme either-or, cut and dry, black and white view of the world as you do. It makes conversations with you nearly impossible when you assume this to be true about everyone. Amen. Yet at the same time, I believe there are no shades of gray, but instead specks of black and white, very close together. You sound so goddamn stupid. Zoom in far enough on the dither, and you may be able to pick it apart and come up with a more optimal reality. What? Among the implications of this paradigm, I know it's paradigm, I'm trying to be funny, is that one should not reflexively condemn one construct because it contains more than 50% bad, or fully accept another that's mostly good. Instead, lucidly examine the good and bad in each. Hold paradox, sit with cognitive dissonance, cultivate compassion, and try to formulate a more perfect synthesis. What are you taught? You people don't make any sense. I've got a sneaky suspicion that half of this stuff is just going to be crappy AI garbage in like a year. Kinda sounds like he peaked at 16 though. I studied quantum mechanics when I was 12 years old, proved Fermat's last theorem when I was 16, and developed an engine that violates the second law of thermodynamics. No, you freaking didn't. I have an IQ of 185 and am bothered by that statement. My training in psychology, sociology, and psychiatry informs me that those with an IQ of under 50 are not bothered by the statement. Of course they wouldn't be. Writing nonsensical equations in a public setting to humble brag. Snapchat memories reminding me of what a nerd I am. Throwback to when I'd bring my homework with me to the gym and my clients thought that it was our workout for the day, not homework. Who in their right mind would look at that and think that's whatever. I'm a research scientist, so by nature and training, I question. It was even this way when I was 8 and my parents enrolled me in church religious classes. I questioned and found the logical and evidentiary answer allows me to understand the need an afterlife fills. However, I do not have a need for it. The only difference I can make is in the life I live now.
So many of these people are regurgitating what Gandalf said in the Fellowship of the Ring, okay? You've heard the quote. You know which quote I'm talking about. All we have to do is decide what to do with the time that is given to us. I know I butchered it, and that's not the whole quote, but basically these people watched The Lord of the Rings and went, what if I, reworked that quote and pretended that I made it? It's mine. Even though, yes, Gandalf was not the one who invented the quote, and it's been around a long time, but nonetheless, I know that's where they got it. To the girl who called me a loser and said I was trying to show off because I said you should read Tolstoy's epic War and Peace, I wasn't aware that reading something was suddenly a huge achievement. The fact that I wanted you to read it meant that I believed you were the rare type of woman who could endure such a lengthy piece of literature. You can call it boring. The irony is that later in another thread, I saw you talking about how you read all the Harry Potter books before you turned 12. It's plainly obvious to see that you view the arts in the most superficial way possible. There's no way I would ever date someone like that. To all the other girls who haven't responded or have been a bit timid in their replies, please don't take this post the wrong way. As you can see, I didn't tag any of the women who wronged me on this post. Oh, cry harder. Yet another person that says, oh, you read a children's series when you were a child? Loser, idiot. Maybe you should read one of the most dull books of all time. Original question was, what degrees are useless? Second person brags about their MBA, cringe enough, while failing to realize everyone is talking about undergrad degrees. Let's see. Business degrees. There's such an overabundance of business degrees that they're basically treated as general ed degrees. Man, I really screwed up getting my MBA. Better take some of my money and wipe my tears with my 140% increase in income since I got it. 140%? Right then. My unmatched I cannot read that word. What is that word? Perspicacity? Coupled with sheer... No, I'm sorry, dude. You're a thesaurus. You're a thesaurus boy. And yes, I know it's pronounced thesaurus. Shut up. I'm trying to be fun here. I'm trying to have fun. These people suck. This is so true, though. Honestly, a genius doesn't need to have school or be mentally stable. This clip, albeit funny, isn't the way the world works. Let me just say this is a bit personal to me. Yeah, but do you like apples? Dude uses hydrostatic equilibrium to remember miles versus kilometers. The way I remember the kilometer is shorter is by remembering 250 miles is about the size of the smallest object in our solar system. With hydrostatic equilibrium, this is about 400 kilometers. It's a very simple way to remember. I can see this makes some people laugh, but I've read so many astronomy books over the years and never go to countries that use the kilometer. It works for me. Okay. Someone posted a comment saying that a subscription was expensive, and this was the genius response. Money is an intangible concept. What? Acquisition of paper and wealth depends heavily upon one's set of circumstances. For instance, I like to eat ramen every week. A family living 5 miles away may struggle to afford Olive Garden once a month. My circumstances allow me to afford a thing with greater quality at a greater frequency because my circumstances allow me access to more of this intangible concept, money, and relative wealth. All that to say, if these people can afford it, the cost may not actually be insane. Don't be mad because they doing them better than you doing you. You could have just left it at that last stupid sentence. The rest of it was so pointless. Drew can do no wrong. She's a queen. Spoken like a true narcissist. Extremely intelligent men see right through you. Now you ain't seeing through shit. Dude, I'm sorry, you ain't. Intellectual explains why being rude back to him is bad. No, seriously. Now I understand not everyone agrees with some of my positions, and that's fine. I feel they promote discussion and encourage people to get their thoughts and opinions in order so they can convey their message, okay? I know I sometimes hit a nerve, maybe where those teeth are missing. If I include a dollop of sarcasm or a soupcon of irony, and perhaps I should learn to be more circumspect. This isn't making any sense. But it's all good. A problem arises when some revert to the vernacular and employ more colorful colloquialisms to disparage me and my ancestry. Not to mention some condemnation of my supposed sexual proclivities. Wow. What these purveyors of the profane don't seem to understand. Purveyors of the profane is a sick band name, by the way. Someone needs to take that. Purveyors of the profane don't seem to understand is a stream of invective doesn't bolster an argument, it debases it. Those expletives only highlight one's inability to communicate, and vituperation without context is silly-dilly. You're doing all this crap
all this thesaurus garbage to make yourself sound smarter, and you're finishing off with silly dilly. So please, before you lapse into the lingua franca that so comforts you, please consider words can be harmful, especially misspelled ones, and I'm a fragile soul. Yeah, we can tell. Women can't logic, according to this guy. At least, that's what I got from this word salad. Questioning a man's logic and credibility is a way of women essentially brings a man down to her level of absurdity. There comes a line of questioning so invasive, is it interrogative, interrogative, and so unreasonable that a man, feeling like he is on the defense, will yield his logic to his sense of frustration. And then the woman who deliberately and calculatingly imposed this form of mental tyranny in her sense of outrage will then use this frustration as a weapon against the man to further reduce his credibility by pointing out quite proudly that he is in fact no more logical than she. Women will hold you to your logic as it forces you to take responsibility for... Oh my god, they're so exhausting. 2+ standard deviations, you say? Why don't you just tell me to seethe, or say I must be fun at parties or some BS? I'm 2+ standard deviations smarter than literally everyone who has responded to my post, so you're not gonna get me on a technicality. Sorry about that. Okay, I am too smart to date. I've been told a few times that I'm too intelligent to date, some qualifying it as scary intelligent. I don't know about that. Okay, sure, no, okay. I think the worst part is a lot of these people are probably quite smart. More than likely, sure, it wouldn't surprise me. But dude, when your head is the size of a hot air balloon, are you really that smart? It takes 2 master's degrees to understand that putting the $ after the amount is better. It's called semantic shift. I've done it since a kid and have a dual master's, so clearly I know better. It's funny that all these people with doctorates and 40,000 master's degrees and blah blah blah, savants, prodigies, whatever you want to call them, can't type. They can't. That's it. With a simplified follow-up comment, just in case the regular folk didn't get it. Well said. It occurred to me while watching this. Here's a primer on consciousness and a salute to the transcendent within the mundane told in a matter that condescends to anyone who has made a deliberate effort to engage the presented issues. It's a cure for a disease I don't suffer from. See, and I'm an idiot who can't read. Maybe a more productive way to say this is, the movie was made with a different audience in mind. Yeah, that's much more productive. You didn't need the stupid comment before. Get rid of it. I'm very smart. Only people with high IQ will understand this. Oh my god, he's such a dumbass. Resist the current thing. Omega is the last letter of the Greek alphabet and often used to represent upper bounds in math, the unit of electrical resistance in physics, and the end/completion of a process/series in various fields like engineering, chemistry, and thermodynamics. Right. I've had so many coworkers ask me what I used to study to pass my CCRN. This question makes me so uncomfortable because I have to respond, I didn't study for it. It always comes off so freaking arrogant, no matter how I put it. You're right, because it's probably not true. I've always been a really good test taker, so don't ever let other people's different learning styles and test-taking abilities defeat you. It doesn't make you less intelligent, you just have a different way of learning and retaining information. You are correct. I mean, everybody learns differently. We are all completely different in that regard. But even if you have a photographic memory, you had to have learned this from somewhere. You didn't just know it. Sure, you may not have studied. I know plenty of people that didn't really study or do the homework, but they passed all the tests because they paid attention in class. Don't leave stuff out to make it seem like you just knew this shit forever. On one hand, I know a lot and can talk and discuss constructively about a lot of subjects. Oh, sorry, he didn't say about, he said constructively a lot of subjects. I recognize I'm not perfect and all-knowing, but I do understand that I'm intelligent. I love that. I recognize that I'm not omniscient, but at the same time, I really don't want to sound like some pretentious ass, but I see y'all with your dumb and cringy conversations and it looks so fun. I don't understand it enough to participate aside from, like, some edgy jokes I do know and understand, but I wish I were able to bond with the average Joe so much easier. If you keep acting like a jack-off, you're never going to be able to do that. The average Joe, just the average Joe is such an arrogant term for people like you. It's so disgusting and rude. Oh man, I'm so smart. I wish I could relate to you fucking stupid people, man. I would love to be able to just enjoy life like you stupid freaking morons and stuff, right? But I can't. Guys, I'm having a heart attack. Can someone call me a journalism major? Oh, well, I guess you know more than her doctor then. Well, yes, because I study journalism and am qualified to research and fact-check claims, and I keep up with new studies and peer-reviewed scientific research.
Quick! Where's the journalist? Is there a journalist on this plane? My husband's dying! This guy trying to convince me he's maybe a doctor? I can almost taste the amphetamines in your fingertips as you write these essays about how I can't be this or that and your life is amazing. Can I assume you're not a doctor now that you demonstrated you can't spell amphetamines? Isn't that great? Asked if anyone was a forensics nerd. Let's see here. I'm a forensic science nerd, but most importantly, distinct from being a forensic scientist. That distinction established and reiterating that I'm no expert, my feverish nerdery on this subject has led me to the conclusion that most forensic sciences don't stand up to scrutiny based on legit scientific standards. Okay, and I have a STEM PhD, and I earn 6 figures, and I use the phrase stochastic terrorism. Do I sound smart or am I smart? You sound unbearable, to be perfectly honest. The author is going to utterly demolish us. Or probably not, we're too stupid. When strangers thought I was stupid because of where I grew up, I understood that they were granting me the high ground. I learned to patiently wait in an ambush for the chance to utterly demolish them intellectually. Later, I realized that this particular battle strategy was a waste of energy. It was easier to simply stop talking to that person forever. Yeah, it's not that hard. A 7th grader's review of Harvard Medical School. Okay, I see all these other kids in school saying that they're going to go to medical school when they get older, and this is their dream, or it is their dream. They won't because they're not smart, they're average. They do not excel or have good learning techniques. I'm in the 7th grade, and I am in 10th grade math. Woo! I skipped biology and basic chemistry and physics. I am in every single AP class. I have a 4.0 GPA in the 2 high school classes that I am in, and above a 98.9 in every class. What does this have? What are you reviewing? What? Watch out, guys. He calculates when he talks. You agree that everything I said is correct, right? I mean, yeah. I speak in a very calculated way. I make it subconsciously look like I'm emotionally triggered, which makes it subconsciously look like I'm not being logical, which makes it subconsciously feel like my undeniable facts are debatable, which guarantees my opponent's annihilation when I'm debated against. How not to get laid. You're more than a foot taller than me, sir. Yeah, genetics. I wonder if our kids will get your height or mine. Well, we could use Punnett squares to... Dude. They sent you a message about having kids as like a little winky thing right there, and you jumped into the Punnett square from grade 8? Which picture is similar to the cypress? I'm a map expert and recognized flags and the shape of the border, and all of this was self-taught. Okay. Literally taught from Britannica itself. Son, I've read more than you okay, so you're 12. Than you've ever read in your life. I literally taught myself to read from the Encyclopedia Britannica. I don't need you to tell me what I do and don't understand in reading comprehension. I know it seems like someone's gonna have to do it for you. That's why I said it's stupid, not racist, because many people believe that stupid rhetoric. Man, rhetoric is another one of those words I just can't stand. It's starting to get on the same level as woke for me, because it's like agenda. It's just been, what's the term, co-opted, not appropriated. It's just been stolen, I guess, you know, by a certain demographic. And God, those words are so awful. Guy thinks he's a genius after taking an online IQ test. Okay, I have an IQ of 153 according to various reputable online tests, and I have a prodigal mind. I score higher than anyone on the subreddit or the Discord, including you. You could never make it into higher academia. That's why you attend a crappy state school. I'm graduating at 20 from Yale with a major in computer science and minor in finance. And I also make $90K per year as an intern plus $30K in crypto investments. What have you done? People who boast about their IQ are losers, said Stephen Hawking, one of the smartest men ever. And this one's my favorite. Bro, shut the f*** up. Mastered music on their own in 5 years, but grammar is a bridge too far. Is upset that things for learning music is directed at learners? How to deal with the fact that most of music learning content is made by hive mind? So I've been making music for a few years, around 5 I guess, and if I could summary what I seen, it's pathetic low. You see what I'm talking about with how these people type? Most content is targeted toward beginners, or it's just mindless repetition of something someone other said. It sounds cool, so it's true for sure, quote from Mind of Many Redditors. Of course, there are big exceptions, big in context of quality, but there are very few of them, with little help of Reddit. Also, I figured many things by myself. Why'd you italicize that? I'm not sure even what answer I expected, or at least someone can relate honestly. Me explaining to my neurotypical friends that the experience of deja vu may be indicative of the circularity of time and the incomprehensibility of temporal phenomena, and that the experience is often sidelined because the rupture in our cognition is too terrifying to bear. The personal subject narrative is fragmented so violently that we resist its mystery. Chill out. You're on TikTok. Okay? TikTok is only for smart people in China. Modern ChatGPT degrees are worthless. Robots can never have real intelligence. Look below, I'm top 10%. I'd like to see an AI beat that. Dude, in a room of 1,000 people, you would be smarter than 91 of them. See, when you're in the top 90%, it doesn't mean what you're assuming it means. Look below, I'm top 10%. No. No, you're in the bottom. Oh, no, that's where I belong. That's straight up where I am. I think if I took a real IQ test, if I had to, straight up guess, I would be right on the average. And I don't even know what the actual average is. What is it, 100 to 110? Something like that? I don't know where it is. I could be at 12, for all I know. I call everything UI. I love how everyone calls it scorebug, scoreboard, or score graphic, and then there's just me, who as soon as I got into watching football, just mentally went, yeah, so that's the UI. A user's not interfacing with that. If you see a scoreboard on TV, what? And whenever a network comes out with a new one, I'm like, oh cool, new UI debut. Same for touchdowns. I'm like, neat, new touchdown UI. This year's Super Bowl is no different. I guess that's just how my quirky brain works. I don't think your quirky brain works at all. Oh, my throat is killing me. You just haven't learned enough about music. Are you sure? Jacob Collier mostly appeals to musically talented types that actually understand the theory he's using. No offense to non-musicians, but you just haven't learned enough about music for what he does normally to be as impressive and cool as it is to people who have taken theory or music. It's not a bad thing at all. But it is a thing, because of what I would assume that maybe 75% of the crowd plays an instrument somewhat well. That doesn't necessarily translate to vocal skills, but it does help a lot. What are you talking about? If they heard someone say ATM machine, their head would explode. I automatically assume that people who say tuna fish are idiots. A startling number of people say things like, I'm in the mood for a tuna fish sandwich, despite the fact that they would never say chicken bird is one of my favorite foods, or I think 80-20 is the best percentage for ground beef mammal. Alright? This inconsistency in their manner of speaking is entirely illogical, and the fact that they've never reflected on this enough to recognize it and correct it leads me to assume that they're idiots. No, sometimes there's such a common phrase that we just say it. On the point of ATM machine, though, I stopped saying that. I cut the machine out. The redundancy there is gone, so now I just say the ATM, because that's not really hard. Although, I haven't heard someone say tuna fish in a long time, so I think these things do fade away. Like if I'm getting a tuna sandwich or something like that at, say, Subway, I don't say tuna fish, I say tuna. Thank you. I feel like you're blowing this out of proportion, man. Magnus always looks like he is very lost. Nah, he's just observing. I don't know why, but I think smart people always look like that. My IQ is 200 and I'm not looks like that, though. Who are you and who asked you to interject with stupid bull? No, really. Who asked? Oh, that's right, no one. All of the C++ in 2 weeks at age 14, guys. Why did I say all of the? Doesn't matter. OnlyFans girl who loses 95% of her subscribers in the 2023 AI crash, so she learns to code and gets hired and then laid off in the 2024 AI engineering crash. She ends up working a customer service job, and then GPT-5 obliterates her for a final time in 2025. She learns to code and gets hired in a year. I want to meet this genius. I learned all of C++ in 2 weeks at age 14. I don't know why people make up... Well, okay, I know why people make stuff up. But what I've never quite understood is why you make up something that is so obviously bullshit that everyone on Earth, regardless of how smart they are, is able to call you out and make fun of you for it. Also, yeah, this whole stretch of bullcrap that I'm reading through here, are you kidding me? So basically, this Twitter thread is saying that by 2025, the world will end. Essentially, because of AI. The world is going to completely collapse in the next 2 years. Twitter mathematicians. Oh dear, this is going to be a fun one to end us off. If y'all get this wrong, you failed school for real. You should ask something like,
this, which is, well, that fraction, but it just looks like a lot more intimidating. Well, you're wrong, buddy. Nice try, anime profile pic. Wait a minute, is that Chunibyo? Dude, that is. Nice try. No, you're not. Get out of here with that Chunibyo bullcrap. I'm out. I'm going home.
My ex-girlfriend left me because I did not agree to her request to get sushi for her birthday. All I did was explain the dangers of anisakis parasites that is found in raw fish. I wanted to invite her to a good restaurant, but she left in anger. I don't think this actually happened. Specifically about the part about them having an actual girlfriend in the past. I would like to inform you that I got an IQ score between 111 and 127 at age 10. So your immature has no meaning to me. Anyways, YouTube. I feel like the comment they're responding to was someone saying like, you're a loser. And this is their excellent rebuttal, proving it right. Whoa, no way, dude! There's a girl on Tinder who likes dogs, hiking, and comedy? They like to laugh? Oh, dude, that is a rare find. Impress me. Just kidding, I'm a math major and build molecular structures of drugs when I'm bored. I'm easily impressed. I'm a smart girl, so you have to do a bit more to impress me. Ooh, biceps, gimme. The way she reconstructed and redefined what it meant to convey and obtain the Oh, I hate these big words! Concupiscent animalistic clearance showing us that divine idiosyncrasy is ebulliently inevitable while simultaneously substantiating what it's meant to be. What are you trying to say? It's like you purposely choose words and language that is hard for common people to understand, so like, why are you even saying it? Why are you sharing it with us? You don't want us to know what you're saying. 6'2", IQ 187, just a white guy on Twitter, highly respected Daily Caller alum, author of No Campus for White Men, host of Highly Respected. Yeah, buddy. People don't like you because you're a white male. That's definitely the reason. Pretty much the lyrics of Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand. Oh, World War I reference joke. I'm probably the only one who got that. Bruh. That's 5 ha's too much, buddy, and now you have 2 options presented before you. You can either correct your spelling and only have lost 1 downvote, mine that I just cast, or you can choose to leave your bastardized form of the English language on exhibition and get a few hundred downvotes. Since you only have 2k karma and 2 years on Reddit, I recommend you choose wisely. Doopy-doopy-doo, you get what you deserve. Gordon, the lobster's dead! Lobster. Yes, chef. Sorry, chef. I'm about to miss the joke, but it's for science, so who cares? Lobsters do not possess the vocal capabilities to formulate words, let alone speak. Once you factor in the fact that the lobster was, in fact, deceased, the idea of aforementioned lobster formulating the sentence, yes, chef, sorry, chef, is completely and utterly preposterous. Those 115 likes aren't in support. They're mocking you. They're laughing at your comment. I just noticed something about this picture! Dun dun dun! Oh my god! For frick's sake! Snorted! It's sad that I'm only almost 16 and know what most of the equations are and how they work. This is why you have no friends? Yeah. No, they should have used Obsidian. / give Washington DC Bedrock 192. You're clearly not experienced in Minecraft at all. If this were a Minecraft command, it would think DC was the item, so this command wouldn't work. The person or thing that you were giving the item to has to be one word, so it would be the / give Washington _ DC Bedrock 192. Please do not mess this kind of stuff up. You're ruining the image of Minecraft players! Each large muscle of a bodybuilder represents a language he didn't learn, a poem he didn't read, a fun fact he never memorized. They must hold the world record. The average human can hold their breath for 30 to 90 seconds. The cameraman who filmed Finding Nemo. Downvote. Finding Nemo is an animation film, meaning there was no camera crew. It was all made on the PC with 3D software. Agreed. I want new pronouns. My English PhD brain screams every time I see they, them for a single person. That is incorrect grammar! Well, that feels good to scream that. Hey, person A, who are they? Hello, person B, they are my friends. Person C, they are hanging out with us today. Oh, person A, did you just refer to them singularly? Yes, I did, person B, because that is what the English language can do, you dum-dum. Doesn't look real if you understand physics. Bruh, I'm just talking about, like, in terms of animation, it looks really good. It looks like a Star Wars cutscene. Calm down, buddy. You disgusting worms. I can machine in 12 different languages. I have an MA in fabrication and a doctorate in Knook. And even I think that the 3D guns are good for modern kids. Who
not even on my level, trust me. So take a motherfucking seat and leave my people alone. This is a pinned tweet. If you had to guess, what was your most used word in 2020? What a pointless question with no real basis for inquiry, if only. Instead of having a culture of frivolous remarks and artificiality, oh, here we go, big word time. We had one of intellectual and cultural exchange and problem solving. Then, we would define a purpose in a line with our evolutionary potential. Okay, well that wasn't as bad this time. Don't forget, you're dealing with aberrated people. They're not responsible for their answers. They're victims of culture. That means they have been influenced by their culture. I feel that's just an attempt to excuse people from the bad things they do. Oh no, I'm not responsible for what I do or say. That's because of my culture. Like, it's just how it's brought up. Anyway, I've got to stab you now. I had to look up what polyglot was. Do you know what the sunk cost fallacy is? I think you have to stay involved in this chat room now. I don't have that much invested. Ought to cut my minor time loss. Well, can you define polyglot? Sometimes people get it wrong, but props for knowing about the fallacy. Unless you Googled it. People who speak multiple languages? I guess. Well, technically, it's someone who can read, speak, write, or has knowledge of more than 2 languages. In which case, I'm most definitely one. Oh my god, it's Japanese. It's Japanese, isn't it? You know Japanese words. That is you. Oh no. Could you interpret the phrase Omaiwa mo shinderu? I don't think so. Hey man, don't discount that cousin. They'll probably be chilling together at some point. Probably. Just spell the word out properly, please. It's P-R-O-P-A-R-L-Y. When you use language like this, it makes it clear that you're a bit of a dumb bum. Probably. Not properly. Such a perplexing creature. Using you and R as words suggests illiteracy and perhaps even mental illness, but he used there correctly and was able to spell unreasonable. I spent an extra 3 seconds of my life properly typing out the word, and you should too! For some reason, this has got to do with the YouTube 2020 Rewind. I can only assume you have not read that much Shakespeare. Then, if any, the content is good, and the comedic timing and improvisation is great, but it is not epic prose written by a grand master of the English language, reaching truly sublime levels of pathos and emotional resonance. No offense intended. From this person's alt TikTok account. How are you so educated? I read statistics, unclassified FBI documents, and history in my free time. Most of what I know about life are things that I did not learn in school. School teaches you what to think, not how to think. Yeah, I can agree America's to that. Education system is an indoctrination camp that sugarcoats atrocities and preaches a false dogma in order to keep its citizens brainwashed enough to prevent a revolution. It is not the only country that does this. A lot of people are jealous of my ability to debate on almost any topic, how I peel psychological layers of my opponents and penetrate like X-ray into any subject. Don't be jealous or angry. Try and sharpen your intellect and really, truly invest yourself in your surroundings. Debate about whether or not Dream faked a speedrun. Go! I don't understand why most people like gossiping about one another. Small talks. But don't you feel excited about the purpose of our existence? Aliens, black holes, time travel, higher dimensions, and parallel universes? Yes, but friends, there's a difference between wanting to just share your thoughts and feelings on this kind of stuff versus just wanting to show off how smart you think you are. Stop relying on expressing your intelligence to feel approved and desired by others. It literally does the complete opposite. We all experience phenomena every day which, if further questioned by whom, could completely reshape our reality. The hard part is noticing the unexploited aspects of such reality and having the courage to potentially sacrifice aspects of yourself in the process for posterity. What? What? What are you on about? I mean, I'd ask for more context, but I really don't care. Type Garfield with your eyes closed. Since I can type without even watching my keyboard due to training and being a novelist, I wouldn't call that a challenge. Sorry. Whoa, you spelled Garfield really wrong. Wow, you're really dumb. Avatar was literally about anti-imperialism, anti-capitalism, and depicted an incredibly realistic, grim future of humanity attempting to strip other planets of resources after they ended up pillaging their own world to the ground. Rewatch it. Your kid brain didn't understand it. What the hell are you even talking about? I have never been on your Discord server. I'm 14, taking all honors, and if you would put in the effort to ask around, I have been called one step away from being Gandhi. Oh, get out of here. I personally disagree with that, though. I know I have anger issues, but guess what? My anger issues have gotten better since I started playing video games more. Well, I associate with actual reggae artists and make the concentrates myself. INTELLECT. I'm just letting you low IQ types know you annoy the frick out of the actual cannabis smokers in the world. I'm just trying to let the children know they look that. You probably listen to mumble rappers or terrible hip-hop like Post Malone. So yeah, I guess you can use the word dab if you can actually make the stuff. I know people who won't even sell you wax, shatter, or sauce if you say dabs or dab too much. I'm sorry. It's just how it is to stoners who have to watch a generation resort to using vape pens instead of a clean rig. There's your fun fact of the day. Even stoners have pretentious people in their community. Men are instinctively programmed to impregnate as many women as they can. My post was written in standard academic prose as would be found in a textbook. I didn't mention social influences. I wrote only about mammalian biology, specifically that of Homo sapiens. Yeah, no one cares about that, buddy. We just care about why you posted that. Even if we accept the argument that, oh, it's just mammalian biology. We are animals, yes, but we're also extremely intelligent creatures. You have to be an extremely simple-minded and stupid being to excuse any actions you partake in as because, oh, it's in my mammalian biology. Like, yeah, good luck using that as a defense in court, buddy. Baby Yoda alone makes the whole show worth it. You don't have to love Star Wars to dig The Mandalorian. Unless you're an intellectual, of course. I had high hopes, because of reviews just like this one. What all of them fail to mention is that it is a children's series, thus written as one. It's very one-dimensional, and made to be extremely easy to grasp. If you are a kid, this is great. If you have kids, it's something you can watch with them. That's easy and appropriate. If you are a grown-up, it helps if you are a bit slow and unimaginative, because not even the Teletubbies are as predictable. Only agree on Baby Yoda. 3 out of 10. How truly fascinating that such smart people can come across as such a-holes and stupid and dumb and annoying. You feel stupid at reading what they say.
Is it normal to be aroused by equations? I feel so aroused by math formulas and equations, especially solving them. I also feel aroused when reading tables. Is this normal?
No, it's not. It's not normal.
Oh yeah, last year I went to take the IQ test at the community college and my IQ is 180.
Not sure if that's high or low. It's probably low, isn't it? Right? Oh, cool. Yeah, that's high.
So, how are you today?
I hate school.
Haha, I would bet to differ 5 years ago when I made this list. Ever since I stopped drinking, the geek in me came out. I just love learning new things. It gives me the same feeling as eating delicious food, and I can't get enough of it. It's quite...
it's quite addicting. 180 IQ can't spell quite. Genius.
It's quite addicting for me. Sometimes I don't sleep for 5 or 6 days just so I can gather more information. Oh yes, I forgot. If you're free, try reading Very Pure and Ambiguous, the prequel. But just read volume 1. After that it gets weird. I promise it's very good. After all, I have read over 5,000 stories. And this one is one of the best stories I've ever read so far. Well, bye. Also, for the last 10 years, every girl that I have ever met had to meet your same standards that you set. Sadly, no one could ever meet them, and so I stayed single for those years, only doing research on everything.
That's why he was single.
But if you ever read this, you have to know that I have loved you for 10 years of my lifetime, and no one has ever replaced you in my heart. Even if you hate me, I'll always love you, and, date me. But today I feel like I have lived too long. Knowing too much of everything is a burden, and having the ability to predict things is annoying, a burden as well. And half the time I have to make heartless decisions, which make me seem like I have no emotions. Like,
who cares? There is no creature intelligent enough that is so rooted in virtue that can best my mind state. I've checked. Huh? Lowly creatures have not the capacity to outperform me and undo the tetra defense that logic creates around my sound arguments. You sound like a comic book character, mate. Okay, we have a video with a dude and a shark, and in the comment, the ocean got a little warmer in that area. Most sharks, like other fish, are ectotherms, i.e. cold-blooded, and their body temperature is the same as their environment. White sharks are partially warm-blooded heterotherms and can partially warm their body temperature above ambient levels. I think he means the guy pissed himself. What is the most woke thing you have witnessed? A person using correct grammar. For instance, using a correct term like awake or aware rather than a popular slang term such as woke or friends.
Wow, I'm only 15 years old and I'm already watching intellectually stimulating movies like The Godfather. I feel like I have the highest intellectual capacity of my generation for liking such refined entertainment. Everyone else my age is a complete imbecile. Use Thunderbolt.
Okay, we have a YouTube video saying, don't have many friends? It's probably because you are smarter than the rest. I'm sure that's true. I must be a genius. I don't have any friends at all. You must be a genius. Actually, I've known for a long time that intelligence not only makes having friends harder, but it also makes a person less happy. It's a curse. I actually thought that having a drug to lower my IQ might be a good idea. It is probably too late in my life though. If I lowered my IQ, I would probably just be a friendless, unhappy, dumb person. Like you are now. Not to sound conceited here, but I am really smart and I see through bullshit very easily. I'm always 5 steps ahead. K. What language do they speak at the center of the Earth? Korean.
Actually, the center of the Earth is around 5,430 degrees Celsius. Nobody is going to live there, so they don't need a language.
What? There are no center of the Earth people? What? Then what was Brendan Fraser doing? Okay, now this next one is a conversation about the movie Blade Runner. I find that it's a very hard movie to like, so I agree with this essay. I've always tried to give it shot after shot, but the dramatically distancing effect is very hard to make me love it. It's okay. It's just an intelligence level thing. Ice your head and take a nap, and we'll watch Fast and Furious before snack time. Alright, buddy? Yesterday at class, teacher, using this grammatical pattern, how do you complete this sentence? In every university, students are divided up into filthy peasant classmate. In every university, students are divided up into how smart they are. Me. Lol. No university does that kind of sectioning method. Students are divided up into courses/specialties, not by their grades. University/college is not the same with high school. Me, deep inside, filthy rice field peasant. You're much more primitive than I ever imagined you to be. Oh well, I ain't surprised. You haven't stepped into a university, and yet you only just got out of a high school. On top of that, you're a rice field peasant. I just never thought you'd answer something that stupid. This is why I never liked you and your kind in the first place. Wow. You talk like cats, but think like a kid. Oh wait, you are all kids. Lol. Sips tea. Is it? Sips tea.
Oh, you probably wouldn't know it. Nowadays, people like you don't read books, so it's up to intellectuals like me to pick up the slack. I'm just reading, and understanding, the full nature of the history of Homo sapiens. Sorry, I'm rambling. People say I'm too smart for my own good.
Minecraft YouTubers, redstone tutorials, NASA engineers. Dude, I went to college for 12 years to work at NASA. I certainly did not look at some childish video game tutorial to help me. I can't believe the youth of our society is this stupid. You'll learn that it isn't that easy once you grow up. Oh, yes. He's found the joke. Okay, we have Rick Rubin quoting, "Unhappiness is a deep well to draw from." Rick Rubin. And then we have Notch saying, "Okay, cool. Hey, happy birthday, man. I hate to brag, but do you know something ironic? You used to want to be a writer, while I've actually been followed by literary magazines on Twitter, completely by accident, simply because I run in the right circles." Yep, pretty ironic. The scientists have created programmable, shape-shifting liquid metal.
It's probably ferrofluid with non-Newtonian properties rigged to a processor.
And it's on iFunny as well, like, actually, I'm a genius. 137 on the IQ meter. Oh, it's there, not there, so Now, curiosity is against the law? Swallow the lies. Is that your real name? Salutations, old sir. It's so very refreshing to run into another self-proclaimed genius. It's a shame I didn't see you at the last monthly meeting. We had a lively chat about how we love the smell of our own farts. I'm sure you can relate, since your IQ is also exquisitely high. Yally-ho, old chap. I hope to see you at the next Ted Cruz rally. Indonesia? Outdonesia. Actually, Indo in Indonesia comes from the Latin word for India, thus your meme is metaphysically not funny. But nice try. Thanks for sharing and welcome back. Ah yes, it's metaphysically not funny. That word fits here perfectly. I'm looking for a job to pay for my university. I am free pretty much all day and need a job soon, so I'm not going to be subtle. I've applied for many jobs and lost to people less qualified, so I'm just going to say it. I'm better than everyone else. I'm reliable, loyal, honest, I have an IQ of 152, so I'm probably smarter than everyone else, and I can learn faster. I'm physically fit as I play football, hockey, and basketball, so I can work all day without a break. I also have cooking experience, as I took an intermediate foods course and finished at the top of my class with a 91%. I hope you will consider me for the position and give me a chance to prove to you that I am the best candidate for this position. The thing about smart people is they sound crazy to dumb people. Also with this one, I like how them censoring out the person's profile also gives Steve Jobs hair. It's kind of genius. I only appeal to a certain caliber of person. I don't even be expecting typical individuals to understand anymore. Your friend, what are you doing for Christmas Eve, JT? Me, watching lectures on algebra and calculus online for fun. What about you? Friend, what? Yeah, the funniest thing here is the implication of a friend. Not to bring anyone down, because a degree is a degree, but if you're majoring in something easy, like communications, anthropology, or political science, your 4.0 is not impressive to me. How you doing? Having trouble getting up? You had trouble. You got into work only 30 minutes ago. Oh? I usually get in by 600, not 7:30. I know. What caused it? A fuss 3-year-old. Fussy. Natch. Natch? It's naturally abbreviated to Natch. Oh. No? You say no a lot. You push me to do so. Natch, adorbs, gorge, these are not words. They are the height of laziness. Do not use them in my presence ever again. Who says gorge? Who says natch? I'm probably the only person I know who says that. My sister has said gorge for the word gorgeous. Not anymore, you want. My coworker says adorbs for the word adorable. It grates my ears. And oh wow, it's an actual word. No, and no. Google is not Oxford Dictionary or Merriam-Webster. If I use it, does that mean you'll stop talking to me? FML. They both have it. Yes. I just want to be sure that all communications will cease upon use of said word. Do I have your word on that? Yes. Okay, Natch. A Julius Caesar pencil holder. Only real nerds know why this is funny. Yes, one of the most famous deaths in history. Only real nerds know it, okay? Why C students are more successful than A students. It's a fucking Brightside video. The C students who take the shortcuts in life become the CEOs, and the scholars work for the CEOs. You're a compliant worker. It sounds like you've got it all figured out. I can see things from different angles. Okay, I'm different. That's great. I don't understand how depression is even a thing, to be honest. Stop feeling sorry for yourselves. Did this dude acting like he never cried in his life, Lamau? Probably because women cry, to be honest. Oh man, are we going down this path now? Which path? The one laden with logic and intelligence? Never apologize for speaking broken English. The fact that you learned a second language is badass and more than most of us have done. I speak 4 languages and learning a 5th, so I'm laughing more at you when you attempt to educate me. Hashtag feminism, hashtag social justice, hashtag smash the patriarch. Those are very relevant things to this post. I was banned from the high school chess tournament that had like 20 different schools, and I would belittle them and taunt them. They were all pissed because I kept beating them. I kept calling this kid useless after every move he did because he was so bad. He said, frick this, and pushed the pieces over and told on me. Good, if you don't know how to play, then you should be banned from the tournament. Simple as that. The fact that he even needed to report you just tells me the tourney was badly arranged. Even if, though I doubt it, you made better moves, you are demonstrably a worse tournament player than each and every one of those kids. Boom. You know, you just know too much psychology when you can't get mad at people because you understand everyone's reasons for doing everything. Have you listened to the new Rimmer's Cuomo track? It's pretty solid. My brain is too complex to enjoy the same music as a simple mind like you. Oh, you guys. I just wrote a 3-paragraph essay for English while everyone else wrote a 3-sentence explanation. Funny thing is, not a single person used correct grammar, capitalization, or spelling. Literally, how the f are you gonna get by in life? I'm outraged right now. Who writes 3-sentence essay? Very true. How people see the world versus how I see the world. So you're seeing things that aren't really there? Should I call someone? Disco. One of the most boring hours of my life. It's nothing more than extremely loud music coupled with miserable, sweaty shrimps flopping around in a manner they overratedly call dancing. I pretended to have a headache, but unfortunately wasn't allowed to stay unsupervised in the hotel. I felt quite outlandish among my fellow teens and lamented over my own inability to conform with my peers due to what I theorize to be premature maturation. I guess wild nights out now mean getting drunk with a whiteboard and trying to figure out what caused the universe. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy 2019! What's your goal for this year, lol? Actually, I don't go by the Gregorian calendar. Oh, but you just said Happy 2019. Yeah, but it's meaningless to me, except now I put 2019. But isn't that following the calendar, lol? Do you know the word epistemology? Truths and beliefs versus knowledge? What? No, lol, where'd you get that?
Epistemology is the branch of philosophy concerned with the theory of knowledge. Epistemology is the study of the nature of knowledge, justification, and the rationality of belief.
Google, lol. You never encountered that word in a class or an article? I haven't taken philosophy, so no. Well, never mind then, lol. What does it have to do with the calendars though? And then we never heard from them again. I only mentally. My thoughts are so intricate that they can make me comment. I love that. I don't believe in physical masturbation. Okay, and that's a good note to leave on.
There's a certain level of intellect required to enjoy certain things. You can't break down Beethoven's symphonic algorithm to someone that only listens to trap and expect them to catch the vibe. Same with movies and shows. Everything isn't meant to be enjoyed by all. This guy watches Rick and Morty. I'm a professional classical musician, and in my entire career, I've never heard the term symphonic algorithm. If you're going to feign intellectual superiority, maybe have at least one of your IG photos of you reading a book. Just spent 2 hours solving some random physics problems I found online. Yup, for fun, people. Hashtag physics, hashtag vectors, hashtag tension, hashtag wires. Hashtag forces, hashtag dynamics, hashtag not your usual vacation. Hashtag I don't party, I've solved problems. Hashtag road to engineering. Okay. Is this supposed to impress me? I don't get it. Most teenagers. I got bored, so I threw a party and got drunk and had sex. Me. I got bored, so I learned the Russian alphabet, LMAO. I don't know about that. Here's a rather philosophical inside look at what I think about this issue. I'm happy to follow up and explain to anybody if need be. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards evil. 4/23/2019. Inspired by Martin Luther. Wait. Hold on. Why did you just quote your— wait, he just quoted him— what? I worry more that people lose the ability to distinguish between good and bad art. People seem inclined to lionize whichever art they experience in their idiotic teen years, which just leaves them completely uncritical forever, until they become artists, making uncritical art. If you live in the UK, have you ever used an NHS number? Should I be using one? Asian? What, like 20% at the most? 1/4 grandparents are Asian. I just like to have fun with the box because it doesn't affect anything. I was close enough. Considering recent ancestors typically register in increments 12.5 or 25%, then no, you're not close. Even 3/16, one great-grandparent plus one great-great-grandparent, is only 18.75%. Given British/Asians are a very recent concept, 20% is mathematically impossible. Our economics professor's male. Hereafter, if anybody asks any more doubt on the assignment, there will be negative marks. I am very disappointed with your understanding and reading ability, which is not even at par with a 10th standard convent student. Due in
improve your language power because you are going to enter into a very highly competitive employment market very soon. I still can't believe just how much people care about watching sports, competing vicariously. I will truly never get it. I've made peace with that. I'm all for playing sports, to be clear. But watching other grown men and women play games and compete, emotional spectators. It's like the kid in Total Drama Island who said dodgeball was not his forte. What was he, Noah? That's him. The brain calls himself genius but says that wrestling is fake. It's not fake, it's scripted. Know the difference. He's a third grader, bruh. My ability to sound like a full-blown hick, then turn around and be as well-versed as a doctorate-level professor is both astounding and just downright odd. Simply put, you do not want to delve into my mind. It would probably drive you mad from all the deep thinking, constant awareness. Oh, big brain. Big brain. Oh, it's all so pretentious. I can't stand it, dude. Everyone is at college partying right now, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to do cohort analysis on a tech product with seasonal demand. Who cares? Who cares? Just shut up! Come on, dude. I'm about to invest some gig money into equipment. Sure, good luck. Sweet. Thanks. Big brain mode is activated. So, now that I get to be straight up with you, could you please not insert yourself into our music? Your energy is toxic. I'm sorry you are so bad at music. I have to make special effort to get these real jams going. Please keep your ego and your insecurities away from our art. I know Trey likes playing with you, but I will not let you integrate yourself into my music anymore. Also, be prepared if you challenge me intellectually on any front. I'll make it clear how ridiculous that is, and your ego will suffer, which I know is critical for you. I will be cordial, but I will point out stupidity if you bring it up. If you don't like Game of Thrones, I'm just gonna assume you're not smart enough to understand it. I said what I said. Don't know why some idiots are getting emotional. Fake. Metal is a paid actor. It means you don't understand the fact that electricity causes heat. Please don't just simply say fake without analyzing your knowledge. Why is it that I can think of the word amalgamation but no simpler synonyms? After using oh my god, why can't I say the word thesaurus? After using thesaurus.com, I went with fusion, a far more common word meaning the same thing. Yeah, that's what a synonym is, bud. It means the same thing. When I was in high school, I loved it. When the Shakespeare unit, TM, came along in literature class, I was one of the few students who was fluent in Shakespeare. So, while everyone else was confused by my laughter, my teacher would be relieved that I recognized the joke. A prep girl could be all, wow, so romantic. And I'd be breathless laughing because what she just read would be nowhere near romantic. I'd answer that Romeo and Juliet is more comedy than tragedy because I could easily imagine any of those people doing that in real life. Being a thespian and a nerd has its perks. If your IQ is less than 90, you care about this stupid picture of a black hole. It's a little late to be bringing up the black hole stuff for this video, but it's still a major accomplishment, you dumbass, you moron. Consciousness exists. Things that are conscious. Confused screaming. Consciousness exists? Doubt it. Consciousness does not exist independently, you absolute moron. Also, the confused screaming quirky thing is getting stale pretty quickly. But hey, the existence is pain Tumblr, neophytes of philosophy and psychology that confuse any minor inconvenience in their spoiled lives with anxiety and depression and use it as a justification to their mostly misunderstanding of nihilism will certainly love it. Am I right? I mean, it's cool to be like that by the standards of today's mainstream impressionable youth, right? Very cool indeed. Bravo. Degenerate your prefrontal cortexes, abandon all morality. Degenerate your prefrontal cortexes, abandon all morality, and then complain cynically about everything without any substance for a better tomorrow or better today in yourself. Wow. What's a movie that you're embarrassed you've not seen yet due to its popularity? Huh. None. Anyone who follows trends mindlessly probably is not very intelligent. I don't partake in anything simply because it's popular, only if it's the intelligent thing to do. Wait, it's not? Off topic, but I understood everything in that gif. The Office! My favorite show. My dad is the epitome of Michael Scott. Ugh. What? That show is so stupid. You don't learn anything from television like that. Clearly, you are not engaged with proper television that I watch. The Office has nothing but unintelligent humor. I don't have an IQ of 136 for nothing. Try watching something mentally stimulating like the National Geographic or something on the History Channel. Like Pawn Stars. I was gifted. And I choose not to lose precious brain cells that God gave me over a silly television show. Just trying to help. You're a very smart, pretty girl. But television like that only rots your brain. You sound like an asshole.
Learn grammar. Yes, I am a nerd, but I also read quantum physics for fun, so... Nearly every American girl I meet, and I meet a lot of them, has read Harry Potter and says it was a big part of her life. No wonder these millennials are so politically F-tarded. I never read that Harry Potter crap because I was busy with the Bible.
I'm not gonna pronounce that word. I'm not even gonna try. Von Gut, I don't... Wash me in your judgment in the comments.
Hemingway, Hesse,
This guy's too smart for me, man. I only know Hemingway and Twain in oral.
Kerouac, Oral, Twain, you know, the books who weren't written by idiots.
Almost every tweet is about how they went to Harvard. Oh, speak to me, great scholar. Tell me what I haven't learned raising my own children. Don't mess with me. I went to Harvard. It baffles me how people are so willing to just work 9 to 5 straight out of college at some cubicle jungle, especially the 4.0 students. Like, you never had an idea to pursue out of college? You were the chosen one. I'm a C+ student. I'm teaching myself rocket science in my spare time just to build a new weapon system to sell to the government. And on the side, I'm toying with a re-engineered approach to solar roadways that will actually work and also eliminate the need for snowplows and by extension potholes. Okay. Son, did you just crap yourself? Fella, I'm a baby. I can't read. Goo goo gaga goo goo. Oh, why is that funny to me? Oh no, I'm small-brained. LMAO, yeah. This doesn't make sense, because if he's supposed to be a baby, then how the F did he type anyways? I'm sick of dealing with people's stupidness. Who cares, dude? That's a funny meme.
And the episode of The Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah.
You could tell me your thoughts afterwards. It wasn't terrible, but it felt very on the nose with its commentary.
I think you actually mean afterward.
Oh wow. It's another case of mishearing something your entire life.
Don't feel too bad. People of your intellect make that mistake often. I know everything, and I only just turned 18. I am not gonna go to college because it's impossible for me to learn anything else. Instead of going into debt sitting in a room for 4 years, I've decided to give back to humanity by teaching others. I've started a YouTube channel and plan to have millions of followers by the time my peers start college. Is it normal? Yes, it's normal.
No, it's not normal. What would you do if we kissed in the elephant's foot? OMG, I would literally melt if a girl did this. Effing kids. Elephant foot is a mass of radioactive cement that melted into the basement of the Chernobyl nuclear facility after the meltdown. If you stood anywhere near it, you would die a horrible, horrible death.
Yeah, but what if we kissed near it? LMAO, you can't shut someone's point down by saying it was poorly written or constructed. Prove it by proving them wrong.
I think you may have had a typo in that. The word LMAO isn't in the English dictionary, to my knowledge. If you're speaking another language, I could try and use my Google Translate. You'll just have to let me know what language.
2 + 2 is 4, minus 1, that's 3. That's quick maths. The sum of 2 + 2 is not equivalent to 4 - 1. Nor 3. What I just said is proven by logical mathematical reasoning that is based on the most fundamental skills of mathematics. Searching for a fit brain and body. Not a complete sapiosexual nor demisexual, so your natural physique matters. P.S. If you didn't Google this, then step to the front. Don't believe in fairy tales, but much into real ones. I am from Mars if this answers your question. If you ever had a selfie stick, then probably we will never match.
I kid you not, when I'm really bored, I go online and teach myself mathematical equations.
Okay, big brain, very cool.
User on a popular men's rights subreddit operates on a higher vibrational frequency than the rest of us. Completely agree with you. Not to toot our own horns, but I would say some of the most intelligent and brave minds on Earth are in this sub. I just think that we operate on a higher vibrational frequency than most others, and are extremely sensitive beings. When I say sensitive, I don't mean the pop culture interpretation / reference. I don't mean sensitive as in a snowflake that's offended by everything. I mean sensitive as in able to recognize conscious and subconscious energy pattern shifts and negative vibrations. Essentially, we're just very good at sensing BS, bad energy, and when something is just off.
Sorry, but in childbirth, you clitoris will need to grow up to 10 centimeters to actually give birth. That's why they say you need to be 10 centimeters dilated to start pushing. I'm not even 18 yet and I got that one right.
The most pretentious and boring movie of all time. What the F is this stupid S? It's not even a real movie. I didn't even bother watching it when I saw that stupid 10-minute scene of driving off the freeways of Moscow, which happens to be in Tokyo. 10 minutes wasted that had nothing to do with the movie, just like the beginning. Seriously, why would anyone waste their time watching this? I tried. I really tried. No one loves this movie. There's a bunch of pseudo-intellectual kids pretending to love this just so that they could be different and cool. Also, before anyone flames me for not knowing what I'm talking about, I have been a professional photographer. I have a master's in physics and a bachelor's in philosophy. Heidegger was my interest. What is that word? Dason? There where being manifests itself in Husserl's phenomenology, reducing the experience to its essence. It even studied jazz dance, modern dance, and ballet. Currently, I have returned to school for a degree in anthropology with a concentration in archaeology, so please, I have a very broad taste and information base for all things art. It's so strange. Everyone here who knows how to spell properly, I'm disoriented. I guess only a certain kind of people listen to music like this. LOL, no. Straight up nudity is for the weak-minded fools who don't understand the power of imagination. The more technical aspects of the body should be left to the imagination. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. Is this a copy pasta? The fact that you think I am sarcastic tells me what kind of person you are. So unenlightened to be shackled to the primal lust for full nudity. It is lingerie and partial nude outfits that are the way of the future. I am 80 years old. I shower about twice a month, just water, no soap. And I never have body odor, because I am 100% healthy. I also have a tested IQ of 197, and am very good at figuring things out. Also, I have never used underarm deodorant. If you need that so you won't smell bad, your body is sick. I guess grandkids don't hug him because he smells bad. The world would be perfect if only everybody else had humility to admit I'm smarter than them. You're about as smart as a brick. No smart person has written a Facebook status since 2014. Then the people who respond to them must be even worse off than that. Is a biologist stupid for observing and commenting on the behavior of chimps? Guaca, holy crap, you're entitled. My favorite line in this whole exchange. I envy those whose taste in humor is so poor that they're entertained by the most puerile of plays on words. What a blissful life it would be to be a fool. A child enamored by the simple twinkle of a light, whose frequencies fall within the visible range of a human vision. Chill, dummy. Whoa, check out the big brains on Bundry. I'd rather read Ulysses over and over and over than ever read a graphic novel. I always think of the Reddit logo as the 5th Teletubby. I think of it as an upside-down, broken umbrella with weird patterns on it, but that's only because I'm super unique and march to the beat of my own oboe, since everybody else marches to the beat of their own drum. r/nobody asked. I'm not like everybody else. I'm different. I would have asked, because while everybody else is sleepwalking through these Reddit threads, I'm the lone woke person watching and wakeful, because I'm woke. And I have a STEM PhD, and I earn 6 figures, and I use the phrase stochastic terrorism. Do I sound smart or am I smart? You sound unbearable, to be perfectly honest. Socrates was the OG know-it-all. I think the same jest will do well for our discussion, Socrates, for I am not the one who makes them go round and not remain in the same place. It is you who are the Daedalus, for as far as I am concerned, they would remain as they were. It looks as if I was cleverer than Daedalus in using my skill, my friend, insofar as he could only cause to move the things he made himself. But I can make other people's move as well as my own. And the smartest part of my skill is that I am clever without wanting to be. For I would rather have my arguments remain unmoved than possess the wealth of Tantalus, as well as the cleverness of Daedalus. But enough of this. Since I think you are making unnecessary difficulties, I am eager as you are to find a way to teach me about piety, and do not give up before you do. See whether you think all of this pious? See whether you think all this pious is of necessity. See whether you think that all that... fuck me, bro. See whether you think all that pious is of necessity just. I think so. And is then all that just pious? Or is all that is pious just? But not all that is just pious. But of it is... But some of it is, and some is not. I do not follow what you're saying, Socrates. I don't either, Jesus. Who's Thanos? Sorry for being occupied reading The Alchemist of Paulo Coelho, than being worried of a stupid movie that doesn't let my imagination fly. Chameleons are the most powerful animals because they can turn black and say the N-word. Actually, that turning black thing is an adaptational character of the chameleon, which is known as camouflage, that helps them to change their skin color according to their surrounding. And also, they are not advanced enough to speak and say the N-word.
Okay, I'll bite. What's algebra? One of the easiest forms of math. If you want a challenge, try solving multivariable equations or multivariable calculus. I like that it says translate tweet. Man, screw math. And screw people that act like it's easy. It might be easy to you, okay? But when it comes to people like me, no. Not everyone is the same. We don't all have the same damn brain. How do you reduce ego when trying to connect with someone who just said your intelligence is intimidating after a date? Oh, you've come to the right place if you want to reduce your ego by making that up. Okay? There's only 7 comments so far, but I've got a sneaky suspicion that the Reddit community at large really helped you reduce that ego. Also, I can't make fun of you too hard, because even if you did make this little story up here, you did at least come to Reddit to have your ego reduced. I mean, that's not bad. You know, kudos to you, dude. I was not a stupid kid. What's the stupidest thing you thought as a kid? Yeah, I'm sorry. No, you thought some dumb crap. Maybe some stuff that was so next level you're just afraid that people are gonna find out that, oh no, when you were a kid, you were stupid. Dude, you know how dumb I was as a kid? I could go on for days. I'm not going to, because I see the timers popped up, but come on. I'm a Virgo, but I just want to know why I'm always right. Is it a gift? A curse? Still haven't met a woman that can outsmart me. Dude, come on. You can't post things like this and then not show some of the comments. I gotta see what they said. After catching myself explaining neutron degeneracy pressure to a 7-year-old, I have officially realized that elementary school students are too young for me. I'm a middle school teacher. Oh, thank God. Oh, jeez. I don't know why. Something about that was making me a little uncomfortable there. Neutron degeneracy. Oh, sorry, pressure. Yeah. Okay, bye-bye then. I dumbed down my vocabulary because I'm used to being the smartest person in the room. I read a lot of books, most of them older, written by philosophically minded individuals, and not exactly light reads. It causes me to have a drastically expanded lexicon, and the number of times I've had to define a word to somebody has caused me to instinctively use simpler vocabulary when I'm in a crowd just to avoid that issue. Yeah, because most of us aren't jackasses, okay? Also, just because you can use more complex words doesn't make you smarter. It means you understand the language you were raised using, or raised to use. I mean, come on. Look, there's only so much of a thesaurus you can really throw into your average everyday speak, my friend. Feel free to share this with the female who just commented and blocked me like the quintessential Democrat coward. My intellect more than likely is superior to hers, yours, and most of you who believe you have a monopoly on cognitive prowess. Your hubris is repulsive. Bro, it's not that deep. Just eat a cheeseburger and calm the hell down, dude. Allegory of the cave. The more you know, the dumber you sound to stupid people. I mean, I guess, but don't think you're one of those super mega smart people. Did you watch that movie? Did you watch Good Will Hunting? Because I guarantee you, however smart you think you are, Will Hunting was about 1 billion times smarter than you or 95% of the populace could ever hope to be. That was kind of the whole part of the story. He wasn't a normal genius. Dude was next level, so chill the hell out. I can't be the only one who thinks quantum mechanics, with regards to pure math, is much easier than classical mechanics. Sir, this is a Reddit channel. I don't know what you're expecting to get out of it, but I can't help you here, okay? I make my money reading memes and other words. There is objectively good and bad music, and not everyone can hear it. Okay, let's see this. In all genres of music, it is possible to differentiate between good music and bad music. People who can hear this difference will be able to point this out across genres. People who listen to music in any genre that is objectively bad have a lower music IQ. You don't have to make up terminology if you want to call people stupid. You know, if you think someone listening to underground rap or something like that is dumber than you, you can go ahead and say it. You'll be wrong, but you can go ahead and say something like that. Okay? Look, I don't think that it's possible for any art form to be objectively bad. And I'm counting stadium country in that. You know, the songs that come from rich dudes that never worked a hardcore day in their lives who sing about Bud Light, big trucks, and bouncy tits. Yeah, I am including that in there too. It can be good. Any of it can be good. Just like a lot of it can be bad too, okay? I really hate people that think that they're smart enough to say that something is objectively anything. You are not the king or queen of music, my good random internet person. Starlink is rebuilding the internet in space, so maybe I know slightly more than some guy who wrote code for a website. Elon, I don't think you've ever done anything on Earth A magician puts his hand in his hat. In the rabbit realm, the hand emerges. It is time. The rabbit council must choose a sacrifice. Actually, that's not what's happening. Magicians? What are you saying, that magicians aren't magicians? Use the techniques such as misdirection and prestidigitation to pull off these illusions. Yes, I know I'm nerdy. I'm sorry. See, let me go back to the thesaurus guy for a minute here. Prestidigitation certainly is a fancier way of saying magic tricks that are performed, or magical illusions that are performed, right? But most people are going to go, what the hell does that mean? Because it's unnecessary. And honestly, there's a little bit of arrogance and ego behind using a word like that in a regular conversation or in a response, getting mad at someone's joke on Twitter, you dork. In 6 words or fewer, write a story about this photo. 6 words or fewer is not a story. It is a sentence. It is a statement. It is a phrase, question, answer. It is everything but a story. You simply cannot construct a story with only 6 words or less. It's just grammatically incorrect and very nerve-wracking to call it that. Okay, well, I can't tell you a story in 6 words or fewer, but I can tell you a really short story. I'll tell you a story about Pete McGorry. Now my story's begun. I'll tell you another about his big brother. Now my story is done. Sure, there's a lot of detail missing, but that was a story. As unsatisfying as it may be, and probably is, let's be honest. You should leave a comment if you think you are a photon quanta to my valence electron, or if you're a believer in quantum entanglement. By the way, notifications are set to off. Thank goodness. Didn't actually want you to know that I sent you a message. Huh, that sure is one big-headed statement. People act like this is so hard. I'm 15, and yeah, I do have a really high IQ. 150s. And I can easily do integrated calculus in my head, and easily calculate the amount of valence electrons in a nucleus. Okay? And I'm also highly trained in quantum physics, by the way. I'm not totally self-educated. There are no electrons in any atomic nucleus. Oh, man. It's like it was a copy pasta. A lot of these genuinely feel like they are, and I think that's why they're so entertaining to read. What can high IQ people do that the average IQ person cannot? I'm glad you asked. As an extremely high IQ individual myself, I have an IQ of 161. I often catch myself being able to do things that the average person could never dream of. I need to see the rest of this. I want to read the rest of this. It's got 10 million views. Please. I doubt a Gen Zer or anyone younger knows what happened today, 81 years ago, on December 7th. Come on, man, chill. They still teach about Pearl Harbor in schools, okay? It's a very big, important part of American history, so just chill out, all right? And of course, someone may not remember the minute details of even the most important of events. When someone comes out of nowhere and goes, hey, 12 o'clock, 82.5.67 years ago. At this very moment, what happened? I don't know. But if you say, hey, how did the United States enter World War II? Oh, that was Pearl Harbor. It's just someone trying to make a specific, easily remembered factoid or historical event seem significantly more difficult to remember. No, we're still taught about it. It's fine. Now watch, everything I said will be incredibly wrong and I'll look like a moron, but still, come on. When someone says this right here, this exact comment, they're trying to trip you up. They're doing it on purpose. Watch your mouth. Please remember to censor the G word. Gamer. Video game. Properly.
You do realize that I'm trolling you. Besides, you are good at chess, which is a game. Like what I am doing with you.
Dude, he told you he was a bot. It's the auto moderator, dude. What do you... Stop. My IQ is 135 to 140, and I quit my PhD candidature for exactly this reason. I had lost all respect for people with letters behind their names and their gender sensitivity waffle. With letters, but... Oh, I see. You couldn't hack it, so now you pretend to dislike those who were able to successfully do what you couldn't. Everything everywhere is the woke culture that usually the right produces as parody. Not since Hamilton has worked so precious, plancent, morally superior and conceptually inferior debuted to such a claim. Conservatives say this is all pop art now. This film might prove them right. Some of y'all should not be allowed within 500 yards of a thesaurus. Exactly. Come on. Come on. What have we been talking about today? She's my biggest competition, and we're each other's cheerleaders. Edit. We are so mechanical in our compliments. We should probably be tested to accurately size us up, but I'm pretty sure I'm always the most intelligent person in the room. And that's not ego. 100% know that. You're brilliant. I think you and I are neck in neck, and I do not consider that a competition. I do not think so. I'm intelligent but not genius. You're a genius. I think you probably are. I know I am. This actually just kind of hurts to read. It does. I love that. And that's not ego. You might be, but I definitely know I'm a genius. That's right. Let's see. Books, lawn care, music. I can disprove evolution. IQ must be 120 plus. Hold on. We got some other stuff to take a look at. I can't read those or tell what the hell they are. You're a child of God, not an ape. I mean, you're right. We're humans. It's a little different. I mean, a little different. Yeah, you're way too uptight for my tastes. We're just gonna fight. Can we please move on? Sure. It was just a misunderstanding. Thank you. And again, I'm sorry. So, these primordial anarchists wish for anything modern to be purged? Any reason you're using so many syllables? I grew up reading dictionaries and encyclopedias instead of books for kids. I grew up a child genius. Okay? You do realize you could read anything you want. I very much doubt that you read encyclopedias and dictionaries, but there are lots of other fun books. You don't have to feel stupid for liking the Warrior Cat series, man. They're fun when you finish eating at an Australian restaurant. Checkmate! So many geniuses that don't get the joke because they don't know what checkmate is or what a chess queen piece looks like. Yeah, nobody has ever played chess. Nobody on the internet knows what chess is. You are correct. Thank you. Oh boy. That's an anime photo. Let's see. IQ of 120. Degree in philosophy. How's that going for you? Samaritan and expert in Roman and Greek history. My English isn't the best, but it is far enough to destroy you in an argument. I am the light in this void of stupidity, with no sense of irony or satire to be found. My death was greatly exaggerated. Okay? The accuracy of your quote is greatly erroneous. It's on par with Run, You Fools and Luke, I Am Your Father in Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, respectively. The real quote is as follows. James Ross Clemens, a cousin of mine, was seriously ill 2 or 3 weeks ago in London, but is well now. The report of my illness grew out of his illness. The report of my death was an exaggeration. Mark Twain. But I love your use of the quote anyways, so take my upvote. Ew. I hate that crap. You got this wrong. Let me try and make you seem and look and feel stupid. Anyway, loved it. Great comment. Upvote for you, bro. Hi, I am blank, young robotics engineer, coder, gamer, otaku, overall a prodigy. You had to put that in quotations. Why? Are you saying that someone else said that about you? Or are you being sarcastic? Kinda? Warning. Skip this post unless you had a decent ACT or SAT score. Why Iron Man and not female? This joke is not for everyone. I feel like it's for a lot more people than you want to pretend it is. We can be honest about that. You think 95% of people are too stupid to understand the periodic table of elements, whereas most people do. Potential evidence of a new Borat being filmed on the streets of LA has emerged. Don't see the humor in it, probably because my IQ is above 5. I don't know, you make comments on Facebook posts. It can't be very high above that. Share if you understand it. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Stephen Hawking. Yes, humans have this incredible ability to notice patterns. Amazing, isn't it? And yes, I did read that on the first try. See, I'm something of a genius. I don't know if you guys knew that. Indonesia. Outdonesia. Indo in Indonesia comes from the Latin word for India. This your meme is metaphysically not funny, but nice try. Thanks for sharing and welcome back. Irving, I hope someone smacks you with a frickin' pie. A big expensive apple pie. Just skadoosh right into your face. Because you are a clown. Grammar shows intelligence. Did you just say he think he's sexy? Total lack of intelligence. I believe you meant he thinks he's sexy. That's what's wrong with you people. What do you mean, you people? Stupid people? Hey, whoa. There's a lot of us. And we could hit you with our fists just as much as you can hit us with true grammar. There is no Sid in Toy Story. He's the next door neighbor to Andy. The bully next door with very short hair.
I don't even know the movie that well and just have good memory because my IQ is 144. What? No, I'm with them. Like, what? Yeah. I'm still stuck on the guy that says there's no Sid in Toy Story. Huh? You want to explain? Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I don't care about the things she talks about? Alright, this one's gonna be fun. Strap in. I, 22 male, was eating dinner at our apartment with my girlfriend, 23, of 2 years, and it turned into an argument. We were eating and talking like usual, and I was talking about the war in Ukraine. And my girlfriend kept changing the topic to something I know nothing about and don't care about. It would go from Ukraine to, this rich CEO's son wants to ruin Louis Vuitton, or some celebrity was spotted with some other celebrity, and I just don't care. I don't care about Louis Vuitton, and I don't care about celebrities, and know nothing about either of them. I was talking about how the forced deportations of Ukrainians, or I was talking about them, in general, I can't read, when she changed the topic again to Khloe Kardashian. I just told her, forget it, we should just eat silently, and she asked me what was wrong. I told her she's talking about stuff I have no interest in, and there's no way for me to add anything to the conversation. She then said she doesn't care about Ukraine, so yeah, okay, now you're just making crap up. You are the asshole. Have a nice day. While it's true that Kasparov is almost as good at playing chess as my iPhone, he is otherwise an idiot. Do you play chess? I did as a child, but found it to be too simple to be useful in real life. A mere 8x8 grid, no fog of war, no technology tree, no random map or spawn position, only 2 players, both sides. This can't be real, right? Look, Musk is a dork, but there's no way this is actually something he said, right? Please. I've been using gravity boots intermittently since 1981. Not everyone does. That was presumptuous of you. Unfounded, erroneous, misleading statements such as the one in your question shouldn't be made. And I have a STEM PhD and I earn 6 figures. And I use the phrase stochastic terrorism. Do I sound smart or am I smart? You sound unbearable, to be perfectly honest. That's actually something it took me a long time to realize. Very smart people can't fathom what it's like to be well below average. I spent my childhood wondering why everyone around me was so slow. Turns out I have a near genius IQ. Wow, couldn't get the genius, did you? You couldn't do it? You couldn't do that, did you? Didn't save me from a myriad of stupid choices in my youth, but I guess I made some choices really fast. But I was in my mid-20s before I started to grasp that my counterparts on the other side of the bell curve weren't just slow, they literally didn't process information the same way I do. And you look down on people for that. You, as someone I would assume you think you're a good person and whatnot, you look down on people who can't do things that you can, who mentally, physically, or otherwise don't have the ability to process information the same way you do. So you think they are beneath you. You think they aren't worthy of the life they have. Am I assuming correctly? Kind of like the assumptions you make about people that are slower than you? Okay. Have you ever been to school? I've been told that baby formula is like feeding rat poison, bleach, and ammonia to your baby. Feed your baby breast milk. Some babies are allergic to breast milk. Some women cannot produce enough, or any at all. Some have adopted babies. Some are single fathers. Also, baby formula is not akin to rat poison. What school did you go to? Homeschool learning from your ignorant parents? No, I went to a prestigious school for smartest children in my country. Yeah, I'm buying that one for sure. Sounds easy enough. I slept through most of school, and trying was rarely ever my plan. You see, as smart as I am, you don't really have to try. Math, science, English, it's all easy. Lifting weights and running for 2 hours is a challenge. Try being a pro gamer. I know that's not what it said, but that's essentially what he is saying. I hate being a know-it-all, but being a gifted genius learning stuff has always been easy for me. Okay. Yeah, it's not for you. Gender studies seems right up your alley, though. We shall see about that. Last person who doubted me had seen what I was truly capable of. Ever hacked into someone's Gmail account just to prove you could do it? Really? You could have gone a lot harder than that in your lie. You could have said anything. Could have hacked the Kremlin or something like that, man. You could have made up anything and you hacked someone's Gmail account? Really? The writer team making a most unlikely version of the typical right-wing American to appeal to their moral, high-grounded fantasies, at the same time polluting weak minds that don't distinguish between reality and movies and games. Easy to read. Screw socialists, by the way. Mensa came to my middle school when I was in 6th grade. They tested our IQ and mine was 197. They told me I qualified to join Mensa. All I had to do was write a 160-word essay on why I wanted to join. I told them, why should I join? They replied, blah, 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 blah. 197. 197. Let's take a peek at something here, I'm curious. Okay, so according to a 2-second Google search with no actual research into it at all, the highest IQ ever recorded is allegedly 228. So what you're trying to tell me, right now, here, on the internet, where people never lie, is that you have one of the highest IQ scores in human history. Or allegedly, because, we don't know everyone's and haven't known everyone's and haven't done this for super long. But really? One of the highest of all time? That's what you're trying to do? Huh? You think people just do that, go on the internet and tell lies? How was your day? It was good, just watching some Netflix. Nice. What are you watching? The Office, my favorite show. My dad is the epitome of Michael Scott. Ugh. What? That show is so stupid. You don't learn anything from television like that. Nope. Not reading the rest of that. You want to know why? They're right, by the way. You do sound like an asshole right from the get-go. You don't always have to be learning. Okay? Entertainment can just be that. Sometimes it's okay for it to just be entertaining. My superpower is the speed with which I learn and unify complexity. What? That gives me an edge in every field I step into. That's why I'm here at this speed. I'm grateful for the thousands of follows. I'm grateful for football and the beautiful minds in it. I'm grateful for you. You're talking like you have a superpower, like an actual superpower that allows you to learn at incredible speeds. And you're working in football. My 9-year-old finds quantum mechanics for whatever reason very disturbing. He particularly dislikes superposition, the double slit experiment, and Schrodinger's cat. Today he asked me to explain quantum entanglement, but only a little. If I say stop, then you have to stop. No. Me working out righty-tighty lefty-loosey when I'm upside down under the car? Why the hell would you use integral calculus as well as trigonomic functions to tighten a screw? Oh my god! A while ago in my AP chemistry class, this one annoying kid and my friend were having a weird argument about who was better. The annoying kid said, "Well, at least I have a girlfriend," to which I responded, "Whatever, your girlfriend has 67 protons." In response, the entire class, including the teacher, turned their heads to look at the periodic table on the wall. The element with 67 protons is holmium, with the chemical symbol Ho. My teacher was the first to laugh. And then everybody clapped, hoisted me into the air, and told me I was king of the playground. Dostoevsky, Google, Sayuki. I'm butchering these names. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna stop. I could go on like this. They're all important authors, and I remember them all. Oh shoot, it's Yoko Ono. The musical genius Yoko Ono. Great. Oh man. Are you still treating John's kids like shit? About me. I'm not just another Tinder guy. I have an intricate history, experiences, and feelings. I'm complex. I consume libraries. Jesus, you must be a little too hungry for your own good. I do things like crawl in a lift and say, "the library," and step on it. Oh, vomit. Let's get out of here. How far can 1 liter of diesel travel? Your question is poorly phrased. 1 liter of diesel could have traveled billions of miles if it was aboard the Voyager space probe. If I'd carried the liter of diesel on every car journey I've taken, yeah. You know what the question is, asshat. All right. Either you are trying to troll and are failing badly, or you don't meet the minimum intelligence threshold to continue speaking to me. Again, I'm going to stop some of these a little early, because I feel like he's trolling pretty effectively if he got this response from you. I'm sorry you don't have an Ivy League degree? You didn't graduate magna cum laude with a degree in math? Oh wait, sorry, that's me. But I'm sure being the billionth person to use Khan Academy is truly indicative of your vast intellect. So many of you are going to get so mad when you hear me say magna cum laude instead of magna cum laude. I know, trust me, it's... Let's see. If I could create a euphoria, it would be a world of honesty, a keen sense of sanity amongst all humans on this god-green earth, or whatever the hell anyone fathoms regarding how this universe exists. I don't even have a religion. I believe in the Big Bang Theory, but to be completely honest, I just care about how my life goes, not how it works. Hey, that's fair. Why should I care about it? We all die in the... Oh, now you're getting a little bit into... Anyway, unfortunately, Your book is really boring. You're writing a novel. You're bored. Yeah, I'm sure this novel's gonna fly off the shelves, pal.
Dude, you're the worst head of staff. Your IQ is 0, literally. Mine is 500 times your IQ. Well, I'm not very smart, but 0 times 500 is still 0. Oh, no! That could be a whole series. 7-part series. 2K an episode. Yeah, I could dig that. Wait, 2K, so 2 millimeters? 2K as in 2000. That's all they said. Yep, nothing, no, they didn't say any more. Oh, who are we kidding? K stands for 1000. It actually means kilo. He wrote it correctly. He wrote 2,000 kilometers per episode. You are lolling at him like he made a mistake, but the truth is, you are just not knowledge enough to understand his words. So for that, lol. Oh, nice, Matt. Yeah, man. Yeah, you get him with that LOL. Oh, he is so roasted now. Damn, if he's a Pokemon, he's gonna need a burn heal. Oh, I'm not done. Oh, you really should be, man, because you're being an embarrassment. Let me spit some knowledge, Mr. Young Guns. Oh, man, why am I friends with you? Kilo is a decimal unit prefix in the metric system denoting multiplication by 1,000, 103. It is used in the International System of Units, where it has the symbol k in lowercase. The prefix kilo is derived from the Greek word otherwise chilioi, meaning 1,000. Wiki, you're welcome. Blue thinks he is worthy of the upvotes and added the same information to the bottom for some regurgitation reasons. Also, I never said the commenter I replied to is wrong, ever. I simply laughed at the fact that he is laughing at someone else. Although, he should not be laughing because that person didn't say anything incorrect. Yeah, who are you? How did I incorrectly correct someone? Mr. Big Balls, you show me good. Okay, are you asking me to explain or are you trying to invite me into something else there? Because I mean, you ain't wrong. This is a video about maths, somehow. That's just what it's titled. Me contemplating the math behind this whilst everyone else is calling voodoo magic. Oh, I see. It's meant to be sort of like a math magic trick. See, your problem is making it about maths. And as we know from this subreddit, there's a lot of people that seem to think that their ability to do numbers validates their existence among everyone else's. That it's the only way to be of worth in this world, by knowing that 1 + 1 = window. You fail to recognize the quantum duality of being both of these states simultaneously, and you fail to understand the meme. I personally believe I at least partially understand it, but it's very possible I don't, considering the infinitely many ways to interpret any information that exists, including memes, hence why Socratic discussions are lovely. Wow, that is going to be the most convoluted backpedaling I've ever witnessed from someone. Just say, dude, you're right, my bad. Men who find women interesting are the most boring and shallow men I've ever met. Oh, someone's a little frustrated that all the hot guys they meet are only into women. Isn't it obvious that men who are sweet talkers and who sweep women off their feet are perhaps the biggest sissy boys? Now, I'm not talking about the alphas or the ones who slay women despite acting like jerks or bad boys. I'm talking about those men who seem to be highly polished, working cushy jobs, and women pleasers. In my observation, I found those men lacking intellect, and they're completely incapable of critical analysis on any mundane topic. I mean, have you guys ever seen a woman who reads Nietzsche, Schopenhauer, Thoreau, or Aristotle? Yep, I pronounced them perfectly. What are you talking about? Even if they read, did you ever find any woman who can appreciate these great thinkers, or at least understand 1/10 of what these guys said? I haven't. Oh, golly gee, mister, you should put on a magic show. Never before have I seen someone who can clearly talk right out of their ass. To be fair, an MBA is basically the easiest degree to get. I could get an MBA with my hands tied behind my back. Then do it. I'm sorry? You heard me. You read me. Do it. It's not worth my time. I don't want to spend 2 years learning profit equals revenue take away cost. Yeah, it's almost as if the purpose of a degree is to have proof that you've learned these things, and have learned it in a structured way so that you can make sure you've actually learned everything about it. Pretty sure an MBA makes you more legit than saying you watched a bunch of YouTube videos. Wrote my PhD level paper on blockchain and ERP potential today. I'd post it here, but it's gibberish for most normal people, while I'm over here obsessed by the potential. Nerd problems. I'm a bit old to be one of them, but I know for a fact that nerds will change the world. I love being a nerd. Normies. Oh my god, Anon, you're so smart. How did you know that, Anon? Also normies. Why do you show off so much? You're so full of yourself for thinking how smart you are. Oh, such a living hell. This gift is also my curse, like a sexy double-edged sword. I've always been hesitant to admit I'm smart. I know I am, and I don't have control over it, or my voice, or even the words I use. I just want to fit in, but it's so hard not to feel different when people notice it. As soon as someone mentions it, I know our relationship is now on the decline. How much of an IQ difference do I need before sex becomes bestial? Wait, what?
What?
Oh, wait, let me explain. At what point am I just communicating with lesser beings? Why should I feel bad about not fitting in? I wouldn't feel bad if a herd of cows refused to accept me. So why should I feel bad that a large swath of humanity that hasn't realized they've actually got a brain has not accepted me? No, I know why low IQ people actually get things right more often than wrong. Because they don't have bull poop clouding their thoughts. But why are low IQ people often friendlier and more accepting of IQ differences than average or especially intelligent people? Yeah, I'd love to help, but can we come back a bit to the bestiality thing? I'm sorry, are you admitting you're into animals? Or that you... Yeah. Oh no, humans are so dumb, they're just like animals. Oh, might as well just do it with an animal. Oh no. Curses! This gift I have. Oh, I can't tell the difference between a human being and a horse. Guess I just have to live with it. Oh, giddy up. Oh, get on me. And yet one of the weakest of this rap, they made out rhyme with another out. This is almost trash tier. Maybe psychology could explain why the slower person seemed to like it that much. My bet would either be simpletons love when you talk about guns, or they love when white boys is used as an insult, as opposed to when using it as a compliment, right? Because white is better? Yeah. Indeed, salient, cogent points, and a perspicacious explanation. A pleasure to encounter someone on here making an assertion, followed by being conversant enough to be able to cover the proverbial check that they wrote. Most people on here will postulate something to the effect, you can't trust CNN. Fake news. They're lying. Oh my god, you do all those big words, but you don't know how to use their properly. Okay. Alright. When I notice the comment, I'll request that they expound, elaborate with credible, verifiable evidence-proof facts. I never hear back from them. Jesus, what happened in that last sentence there? You're just finding every single synonym you can find? Meanwhile, on the Birkbeck University of London, you found the only way to get a University of London degree with evening lectures. Can you solve this problem? What is dark but made by light?
The black lightsaber. Reddit dark mode.
Okay, yes. Some would say a shadow, but in reality, light does not create a shadow. It would be the object that obstructs the light that creates the shadow. So the correct answer would be the concept of obstruction. Shadows. Oh, thank God. Well done, yes. The cognitive capacity necessary to compute such nuanced and sophisticated ideas is not one that is possessed merely by your average layman, which is why I understand why you chose to reply with an answer that ignores the central objective and pinpointed your efforts on my example of Karl Marx. My profile pic is a fist because I enjoy fisting. Wish I lacked critical thinking skills. Y'all seem so happy. Oh, buddy. There. Do you plan to go to university? United States Air Force, actually, in the nursing field. Oh, damn. Sounds good. Good luck, though, because they are hard to get in. I'm too smart, lol, so I'll be fine. It's too smart, by the way. I mean, it comes across that Rachel was saying that sarcastically. But then again, what if they're also replying sarcastically, too? Either you're both terrible people, or you're both gonna completely miss the mark on each other here. Weight is not measured in kilograms. What do you mean? Weight is a force. It is measured by newtons in the proper measuring system. kg is measuring mass and not force. A body's relative mass, or the quantity of matter contained by it, giving rise to a downward force, the heaviness of a person or thing.
Oh my, is that literally the dictionary meaning?
Oh dear God, that's a lot of text. I think what I'm seeing here is an identical epistemology to religion transferring itself ideologically in the political realm, but with serious consequences. There seems to be a cognitive intermediation zone between religious and ideological commitment, with ideological adherence to the dogmas injected by media and our emotional interpretations. The ideological replacement to religious belief is grounded in virtually no empirical data and facts. It is driving our civilization to the ground. Insofar as we engage in it, religious belief, in spite of its faults, guides human consciousness and assists in ethical decision-making, placing the individual sovereign above all his or her responsibilities to the burden of life. Its replacement dogmatic ideological adherence embodies a set of doctrines taking that responsibility off of the individual and placing the blame onto others. As a means of tactical persuasion, it uses misleading and factually baseless information. It installs methodical tripwires into the brains of politically susceptible teenagers. This post is titled, What Are You Saying? I think that it literally is the name of this art piece right here. Let's just take a moment to notice that someone went out of their way to type all this. They went out of their way to right-click to find the right synonyms to make their words seem bigger and smarter, and posted this thinking, yes, this validates me as a person. They love recolored synthetic pictures of space. This is the extent of their love of science. All that "I love science, guys" crowd probably would be confused if I posted my O'Neill cylinder or planet ring calculations of requirements for materials. I was bored and started calculating strain that materials would be under in these megastructures in their bare-bone versions. Conclusion: steel will do, but problem is getting all that mass into space. Again, what? Why? Who asked you to type this? Why did you type this? Where was this even going in the first place? How do you comprehend this as being actually useful to the conversation?